Ikonu ana m arịọ o nwere ka ofu onye kpọọ Prọfesọ Dozie Chukwu Okolo kpọọkwa aha excellency ọzọ, kpọọ ofu onye ọzọ akpọ Honorable Barrister Austin Okeke ka anyị lee unu ka onye ọbụla gbalịa kpọọ ndị a ka ha bata maka ọ nwere ike ịbụ na ha chefuru. Ka anyị gbalịzie nke ikpeazụ tupu anyị agawa n'iru. Ofu onye kpọkwa Nwaisi, kpọọ Nwaisi, Dr. Nwaisi.
Hello, sir. Are you ready for me now? Hello, sir.
No, I'm not.
Okay, sir. All right, no problem.
Precious.
Ọ bụrụ na ọ ga-ekwe mee mbịọ injinia Ume Ikechukwu ka ị kpọọ Dr. D.I.Y. Nweze ka ọ batanụ na meeting ebidogo, ka ọ bata.
Austin.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope you are in the meeting.
Unu ewe n'iwe. Ka m bụ ụzọ gwa unu ka esi họpụta ndị a na-akpọ ndị isi. Achọburu m ka Her Excellency nọrọ ebe a ka m kọwaa ihe a. Her Excellency si Amerịka wee lọta. O nwere ozi ha dunyere ya na Amerịka. Ụfọdụ ndị Amerịka gwa ya ndị na-amarọ dị onye mbụ ma ndị ma onye mbụ si ya gakwuru m. Ma mụ na Her Excellency amago ma ya emitibere onwe anyị na-eme communicate. Her Excellency wee gaa na Sokoto. Onye ọ kọsara akụkọ na Sokoto gwakwa ya ga-ato Ọbasi Igwe. Her Excellency wee bịakwute m. Gwa m kpọọ ekwentị si na ya na-abịa na ya bụ onye dị otu a. Si na ozi edunyere ya site na Amerịka na ya gakwukwa na Sokoto wee mee confirm na mmadụ niile na-agwa ya bịakwute m Ọbasi Igwe. Mgbe ọ bịakwutere m, anyị kpaa ọfụma. Ihe niile na-aga nke ọma ruo taa ruo echi. Ndị mmadụ wee na-abata. Ọ na-asị m na ọmụma ga-abụ leader of delegation ma leader. Mụwa na-asị ya na ọ ya ma ga-abụ leader of delegation. Ọ sị na mụwa ga-abụ onye isi. Mụwa asị ya na ọ ga ya ga-abụ onye isi. O nwere ekwetere n'ibe ya ga-abụ onye isi. O nwere ekwetere na ọ ya ma ga-abụ onye isi. Onye ọsị m na mbụ onye isi. Mụwa asị ya na ọ ga ya bụ onye isi. E wee ruo na Ụmụode na nke Prọfesọ Bat Nnaji. Her Excellency wee mee m introduce si na ọmụma bụ leader of delegation. M tie mkpu m si ya Your Excellency kedu mgbe e kwuru nke a? Mmadụ niile mụọ m kwuo ochi ọchị. Ndị sikwa na Amerịka ụfọdụ ha bịa na meeting ha si na ọmụma bụ onye isi. nnọkọtasị kedu ihe m na-emede ife a ọ bụ ka ebe ọ bụ ndị ọgụ ndị Igbo ka anyị na-alụ ka m mezie n'onwe m ka m nabatara ihe a na-akpọ m mbịazienu na-ekwu okwu dịka mbụ onye isi ọ ka o si bido o nwere mgbe m wepụtara onwe m si n'ọmụwa bụ onye isi o nwere mgbe ha Excellency wepụtara onwe ya si n'ọya ma bụ onye isi mba otu a m kwuru ya ka o si dị site na Amerịka ruo na Sokoto bịa ebe a ọ ihe anyị na-eme o nwere anyway anyị ji na-pretend ma ọ bụ na anyị ma ihe karịa onye ọzọ mba ịbụkwa n'isi abụrụ na mmadụ ma ihe karịa onye ọzọ ọ ugwu nkwanye o nwere onye zuru oke ihe m na-emekwa ka unu mata n'ihe a o nwere elekshọn e mere ma ọ bụ ntuli aka si na onye a bụ onye ga-abụ onye isi ma ọ gịnị ọ bụ mkperịkọta ụmụnne na ụmụnna a na-aga n'iru anyị wee na-edevelop program proses a ga-eji na-eso ihe a anyị na-aga o wee na-adaba ruo taa sọ ebe m gwara Excellency taa sị na ndị airport nwere strike dịka mụnwa bụ civil society person mma agba ụgbọelu mgbe e nwere strike apart from ụmụ ụgbọelu ọfụrụ a dịka ma nke a ma nke a I prefer peace but apart from that ụgbọelu nwere strike na ihe a m ga-anọ in solidarity with ụzọ ọbụla ọ ga-esi aga m find my way to Abuja o nwere ihe o mere mgbagodi 150 years 120 years otu ndị mmadụ si jewe Abuja usoro otu a jee lọtakwa n'udo n'ike Chineke ọ bụrụ ma agbara ụgbọelu ama ji ije ọ gwụcha ya Excellency wee tie mkpu ma si na erejistagokwanụ ihe a amara m ọdịmmasịrị Enugu ka ọ gịnị by special arrangement m si ya mba otu ọ bahara na strike na gịnị m chọrọ ụzọ m bịawa so achọbụ m ka ọ ga-abata ka ọnụ ihe m na-ekwu nke mere ihe m na-arịọ unu bụ ka o si na-adị onye isi abụrụ ọkachamara maọbụ ọkacha ogologo maọbụ ọkacha ịgụ akwụkwọ onye isi mgbe ụfọdụ na vileji a na-arọpụtadị onye nzuzu ka ọ bụrụ onye isi mana na-atapụnyere ya ihe ọ ga-eme ka anyị ghara ịbịa n'ọha ebe ọha niile nọ wee na-eme ka anyị na-eme disagree with onye isi anyị ka ọ dịkwanụ ka a na-akwanyere onye isi ugwu kama ebe ahụ ị ga-eme disagree with him ịbịa n'azụ ịgba nkịtị ịbịa n'azụ gwa ya ma tụọ ya mbọ si ekwuzi na ịbịa n'azụ gwa ya ihe ọ ga-eme ọ ka m si gbata ihe niile m megere eme ịgwa ya maka onye isi ahụ ezuru oke atọ ozuru oke ọ nọ there on the authority of the multitude so onye mara ụzọ o si gafee ụzọ ọ tụọ ya mbọ ọ bịa n'azụ gwa ya okwu kedu ihe m ji ekwu ihe a anọkọtara m Owolabi wee kpọọ m n'ụtụtụ a mgbe ọ kpọrọ m anyị wee na-ekwu okwu isiokwu ya wee bụrụ na ha Excellency tiri mkpu na ndị DSS chọrọ ijide ndị mmadụ ndị Igbo chọrọ ije ihe a na ndị DSS chọrọ ijide ndị Igbo ụdị ihe na ụjọ abatago na ụdị ihe ha chọrọ ijide ndị mmadụ ma ọ bụ na a na-atụ ụjọ na ndị DSS chọrọ ijide ndị mmadụ mgbe ọ na-ekwu ihe a ọ na-aba mba ọ na-ekwu ya ka onye na-aba mba dịka isi kedu ihe gbasara ndị DSS na ihe anyị na-eme dị lawful owe otu a na-ekwu ya masị ya si wetu obi were nwayọọ kọwara ha Excellency were nwayọọ kọwara ya ka ha Excellency wee wetu obi ya ejupụta source of her concern ka mara how to address it si were nwayọọ kọwara ya ọ sị maka na ya agbago ndị ọzọ ihe a n'isi eji ekwu mgbe ọ na-ekwu na ọgbago ndị ọzọ msi ndị ọzọ na-ebe na o nwere onye ndị gị na ha na-ebe ahụ mụ na gị na-ekwu ọ sị na ya na barista Emeka siri n'ebe ahụ na Dr. D.I.Y. Nweze n'ebe ahụ nke mere Honorable Barrister Emeka siri n'ebe ahụ mụ na Owolabi na-ekwu a group call D.I. Nweze Dr. D.I. Nweze n'ebe ahụ mụ na Owolabi na-ekwu ọ mara m onye nke atọ kpọrọ ma m ka injinia Ikechukwu ka onye nọkwa ebe ahụ nke ga-abụ mma jụrụ ese ahụ si kedu ọsọ mụ na gị na-ekwu ka onwe ndị ọzọ mma ama na onwere ndị n'ebe ahụ anyị na-ekwu okwu ndị Igbo so mgbe ọ na-ekwu ihe a mgbe kọma ndị n'ebe ahụ ha wakwụzi okwu na ha nọrọ mgwere ogere ahụ ngwa Owolabi si na ka m gwakwa gị ihe m na-agwapụgụ mgbe mbụ na nke a bụ opportunity ka ndị Yoruba na ndị Igbo jikọọ onwe ha ofu dezie Nigeria na Awolowo ebidogo the reconciliation mgbe o nyere ndị onye Igbo vice presidential candidate na ekwekwala ka emee importation mmadụ ịbịa tiri ise ndị Igbo n'ihe akpago m aka ihe ọ chọrọ ịnụ ọ sị na akara ya dịrọ ya na ya na-aga force anybody into ime belong ebe ọ chọrọ belong na ya ma force anybody n'ihe niile a bụ onye ọbụla belong ebe ọ chọrọ belong ọ na-ekwu ya ihe m na-arịọ mmadụ niile bụ I didn't expect onye Igbo itinye ọnụ ihe a ọ na-ekwu ịsọpọt ya. I didn't expect it. Mma akpa aha maka anyị nọ nnukwu game anọ lee game anọ. There is no honest restructuring onye ọbụla Yoruba chọrọ. We know that game. Ka m gbakwa unu ihe a chọrọ ebe a. So unu marakwa that Igbo politicians in Abuja, Igbo governors, Igbo businessmen, onye ọbụla na-ebe a matakwa that Igbo politicians in Abuja, Igbo businessmen, Igbo intelligentsia, Igbo governors, Igbo in the diaspora are watching us. Onye ọbụla matakwa ife ọbụla ọ na-eme. Concession assurance that we are being watched. We are being under that is supreme observation. Kamara kene ya ngeme. Ma ngabia zuzu anyị niile na-akpọ iyi. Chi onye zuzuzina. Onye ọbụla matakwa nke. So, na-asị onye ọbụla ka dị onye ọbụla ma attend this meeting. Lee ihe ndị Yoruba na-eme ka m gwakwa unu. Mgbe a na-alụ ọgụ anyị na ha mere sign asịrọ m nọọ ihe Owolabi na-eme o tupu mmadụ jee kwụsị na m sịrị na Owolabi na-eme asị ihe ndị Yoruba na-eme ụfọdụ ime Yoruba ọ bụrụ Yoruba niile. Awolowo bịara ya na Ojukwu wee sign na verbal agreement ka alụ ọgụ emekọ ofu lụọ ọgụ maka na Ojukwu release Awolowo but one had no power or even authority to release Awolowo. Wee wepụ ofu onye Yoruba mere credit Ojukwu for releasing Awolowo or for Ironsi signing the release that Gowon implemented. Mgbe Awolowo wee bịa Ojukwu wee kene Ojukwu ya na Dr. Aluko so bịa wee kenecha Ojukwu ya na Ojukwu mee agree na a ga join to fight the caliphate. Awolowo wee na Ibadan na Lagos. Unu ewe n'iwe this narrative m na-enye unu ọ bụ ka onye ọbụla dị focused ka anyị kwụrụ n'ofu ebe na-eme ihe anyị na-eme ọ bụrụ imegide onye ọbụla ọ bụ ime ka ọ dịrị Igbo mma. A sịkwa m unu na ndị mmadụ na-elekwa anyị anya ihe anyị ga-eme tupu anyị akpọwa politicians anyị iyi kelekele this intellectual group ihe anyị ga-eme. Awolowo wee na Ibadan na Lagos wee na-eme implement ihe ahụ ya na Ojukwu kwuru. Awolowo didn't betray Ojukwu initially. He was demanding for the pull-out of northern troops from the west. Mano Katasiri, a way Awolowo appointment as deputy to Gowon. Which I am Panine for Yasu, maybe child, even game, no Yamagabu, civilian president. Oyeganochi, a Gowon. Here way, with Awolowo, away change, make it easy, agreement Yano Juku. Yenine. Gwara na Abanyagago ka m kwụsị na nke Awolowo. Awolowo nke a bụrụ mbụ ọ ga-eme ihe a election na 1 bịa eme form cabinet na 1952. Awolowo ji ebe jip n'okpuru ya ma bụ ihe bụ mbido ntisa Naijiria na-etisa. Mgbe a lụchara ọgụ ihe niile gburu ndị Igbo all the Yoruba, not all Igbo. Ewelu chogo. Ewe bịa Lagos, ndị Igbo bịara na Lagos. Ewe na-enye ha ụlọ ha, ụfọdụ na-enyeghachi ụlọ ha, na-enyekwu ha ego rent. Ma Yoruba ụfọdụ gaa n'azụ, a Yoruba lawyer went and scripted abandoned property were ye get spiff. Ha na-eme ihe ọma n'ihu gaa n'azụ wee mee script abandoned property against Igbo people. Ihe a wee na-akpọtụ anyị na-akpọ ndị Ijọ iyi na-akpọ ndị kwere iyi amara na ndị Yoruba na gịnị Gowon jee n'azụ wee script abandoned property. O nwere afe ndị fere ọma o wepụtara onwe ya kos ka eme ihe anyị wee kweta I see we can collaborate with Yoruba ka enweta ihe a na-achọ dozie Nigeria ka enwee restructuring. Anyị wee sị na anyị ga-ewepụta Igbo position n'ihe niile ma ihe ọbụla bi na-ekwu bụ na ọ bụrụ ife ọzọ mmadụ ga-ekwulite ma ọ bụrụ just kwuo your region. N'ikwu your region, oh, if it conflicts with another person's region, emecha edezie ma nke na-emere conflict eme approve. Kedu nke na-ama eme conflict ọ Yoruba region ha ji power ha emekọchata ihe niile nke bụ ihe anyị na-aga ime approve next week bụ Yoruba region maka a ga-enwe contestation Igbo region. Kedu ebe contestation ahụ si ọ bụ Fakohunda onye agent Afenifere webatara one dibia Kachukwu dibia ka ọ na-azọ part of Igbo land capital onye Yoruba webatara ya ha agba nkịtọ na-eme ihe ma n'iru anya na-asị mba o nwere onye nke bụ na mere ihe ha wee webata Dakuku Peter side na ndị Igbo ka ha na-azọ ala Igbo ka ha na-azọ Boni ma Opobo Kachukwu gịnị dibia a na-azọ Port Harcourt na-azọ ma Echie na-azọ na-asị ọbụla Igbo ewepụta ndị ga na-asọ anyị ọma ga na-asọ ogbube ya na Benin ma ọ gịnị province ọfọzie obere ebe dot in a circle ha ga-akpọ anyị Igbo masị mba go and meet your people go and I won't interfere anything in this state anything I will not interfere n'iru anyị mana azụ anyị na ihe na-aga ma ị ghọtara nke a lezie onwe gị anya na onwere ihe chọrọ ịghọta anyị na ndị anyị na ha na-eme ihe na Naịjirịa ka a na-ekwu ihe a anyị ewepụta masị ya na ọ bụrụ ọsị msị ya na ndị Igbo ga-ewepụta ọsị ma abandon property na ama akwụta okwu abandon property ama akwụta okwu ya atọ ịma akwụta okwu ihe ọzọ bụ ihe na-aka ndị Igbo mkpa megide a na-emegide ndị Igbo na Naịjirịa ọjọọ si bịa ihe anyị na-aga ikwuo this is our region how much this is our region which one is approved Yoruba region is not approved Igbo region is not approved it's that way it's context anya sign ọ bụrụ na akpọkọtara anyị dị ka atụrụ ka anyị bịa sign afọ Yoruba region na ama sign Igbo region one part eje out to Benin nke a eje Teja nke a eje Igala nke a eje nke a anya nọrụzie n'etiti na abụọ bụrụ dot in a circle ọ ya ma bụ game dị on ugbu a ọ ya ma bụ ihe Owola bi na-agwa m okwuru ya ka m si kwuo ya otu a mana ana m anụ asụsụ ahụ ọ na-asụ na ama webata nke a ma ome nke a na-ekwulekwule with you oke ọbamba ọsị na ya ga oke ebe ya ghọtagburu mkpụrụ nke a na a ga-review chairman of committees members of committees ma agba nkịtị ihe m ji na-ekwu ihe abụọ I expected enyi Igbo nwanyị na-anụ ihe ọ na-ekwu abịa n'ikwu na ebe na a ga-eji election ma voting mara onye sobo you do not never you do not emphasize your areas of weakness ka nkwe ya ka onye ọbụla nụ gị na mmadụ na-eme ihe you do not emphasize the areas of your weakness. The areas of weakness of ndị Igbo now is anything voting. Ije soro ndị Yoruba na-asị a ga-eme vote community that voted not will not voted not. Remember that those communities have been compromised. Remember those communities are under threat of extinction, bombardment, and elimination. They are being oppressed. We sue in the courts of law. Which court of law in Nigeria uphold the rights of the Igbo nation? Will we go and sue in the court of law? If we can sue in the court of law and get justice, why are we attending a conference? Why is conference necessary? Why have we not been suing in the court of supreme law? You should not emphasize your area of weakness. We are not saying that law is not important. Law is of supreme importance. But because law and constitutionalism, as designed by Nigeria, have been against the Igbo nation, therefore we de-emphasize Nigerian law as it is, because it's a template for Igbo oppression. We cannot be saying, let us use 6 geopolitical zones. Because 6 geopolitical zones is designed against you. If you can use 6 geopolitical zones, why are you again in a conference that is designing something contrary to 6 geopolitical zones? If you are using that 6 geopolitical zones, why are you now going? You cannot say, let us go to the chiefs and kings of communities to affirm that they accept to be Igbo. Because we've told you that these chiefs and communities are under political teleguidance. You cannot. Then somebody may ask, can you see how they use? I see you use history, written history that is there. But no, if I can emphasize, not that we cannot go to court, but nobody is in the court. Even international court will give you justice, except we are backed by a world power. Nobody in the Nigerian court will give the Igbo justice, except when it's something extraordinary that happens. If you will not be a true tactician or strategist by emphasizing the areas of strength of your interlocutor. And I think that is what lawyers do. They emphasize they use areas of strength for themselves and emphasize the areas of weakness for their opponents. And that is what even every other scholar, intellectual does in a negotiation. So if I'm see, this is about this Igbo region. Ima mention Megidani Igbo. I am a Namtikana. I am a Biafra. We will state release of political prisoners unconditionally. We will state it. That is an important precondition for a smooth restructuring negotiation. We will say something on protection of property, private property rights. We will say something on elimination of the corruption and victimization on Igbo highways. These are essential prerequisites for restructuring. We will demand a definition of ethnic nationality, a definition of we say, can we have ethnic nationality? Because this is a meeting of ethnic nationalities. Remember, we're intellectuals. Everyone here is an intellectual. Because we are going to, Nigeria, these beneficiaries of genocide against the Igbo nation, for the Igbo. Which means we know what we are doing. That we will state our own position. We go and publish our position.
Thank God I've joined network.
Sorry, you are welcome, Your Excellency. You are welcome.
Your Excellency, you're welcome.
You are welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, good evening, ma.
Your Excellency, Ana Mekenegi, Nambali na Bali, Inyo Yabunego, Iga Yakumu Kemu, I will be in solidarity with the trade unions. Now must strike. I have been a civil society activist. Otundo Sosi Jabu Jamgoro to Anje. Ima Abu Owegi Maka on any of us. There was none. So then he wanted this game. And now he argument. Your opponent, your oppressor. He get alone with you, Bonabo. He name. He get alone with Ganya, Ubonabo. The ambassador, High Excellency, Eweputaro, no, Yamagaboni, Bob, Eboga, we had seen Abuja, Kete, Buruna, Abacha. Oh, what Boba see where they are to me, a singa bonisi, Eboga, Campocori, and in Dubai. Oh, mutual respect. Unquire you buy a quiet one, yeah. No, you go. I know quite know why. I not so you can or you can or it done no more. You done no more. You did not contradict your leader openly. You don't do it. Come on, you toy ambo. You see, when you did they very not here. Challenge can Ninka National. We cannot repeat the betrayal of 1994. I was the rapporteur at the Enugu Presidential Hotel. Igbo developed a template. The document. Zone Abuja. Everybody in my River State, my Anyowa State, sign the document for the unity of the Igbo nation down to the coast. Some people were Abuja, and you go say the Igbo president. You just signed something contrary to that Igbo declaration in Enugu. See no geopolitical be here China now. And where see why where America? See America, Baraka, Sokoto, Baraka, Burungongo na Bongo, Biansuka. I name it in Asuka, Yeni na gan koma. Utom neto wa ya aburo nefu. O manam neto ya we carry. Ne mefu ego ya, ne spend her money. O kwan kobo mji. Ne spend her money, ne nya yiri. Onye obuna na agbali. Na akwụgwọ asike menka ọkwụgwọ. Na so onye obuna ikpere m dị n'ala. Igbo template, Igbo position, aga print ya. Ka onye ọbụla na Abuja. That Sunday the enemy against onye ọbụla. That position ebe may stand. Unity of the Igbo nation contiguously to the coast. Freedom for all political prisoners. Decentralization. Oh, when you hear somebody there, something will there, Esquire or Barrister there. That the purpose of restructuring is to strengthen the central government. Rubbish. When the Yoruba are seeking decentralization and strengthening of the units of the union, decentralization a component of the restructuring. That to strengthen the federal authority. When you strengthen the federal authority, where is the relative self-determination of the units of the union? Units of federalism. Because it doesn't have to be federalism. It can be confederalism. It can be unitarism. It can be federalism. The constituent elements of the union are to be strengthened at the expense of the center. They put the law to strengthen the central authority. When strengthening of the central authority is against the Igbo objectives and Igbo development, people should know what they are writing and spreading. What are you pushing? Dainty, you just on him.
Nna ikwu ọwụkwọ m ka m gọrọ kwụọ ọnụ m now. Aha m wụ Ude, na ọwụkwọ m.
Sorry.
Ikwuola so much na biko ka since I said esi batara. Biko ka
on the issue of our participation. And ndị nọ na committee dị iche iche because anyị bịara ego adịrọ enough, so I say ka e buru ụzọ nye ndị nọ na committee ego. Anyị nwere onye nọ Gombe, Ken Udog. Anyị na-anya ticket to Gombe bụ 290,000 one way. Ọ bụrụ na anyị nye about 3 people agaghị enwe ike ịbịa. I think 290,000 ka ị gwara m.
Excellency, it's going and coming back, there is more than that.
We see, let us look at who is in the committee. We check here. He's not in any committee. We bido with Okuchi and Mekesiri and Ike Ube. Clearing with them who are on the committees. Because Okuchi, are you here?
No, I'm here.
Okay, Okuchi Nadi. When I call the committee, you tell me the people there. Good ticket. Fiscal federalism.
Let me A minute, a minute. A minute. A minute. Okay, go ahead, ma.
Okay. Fiscal, because him decided I were ending on a committee with Richard. All ego is rosy. In order to go with we make up with people resident in Abuja, the delegates list. People resident in Abuja. When we make up with people resident in Abuja, then and hotel. But as if we're go to come, ego hotel. We haven't discussed ego transport and ego nri. So onye nwekwana iwe na ego ezuru ya ka anyị burugodu ụzọ mee ndị delegates ndị nọ na the committee ndị delegates then anyị ele ego hotel ego nri. That is how we did. We had 2,135,000. Okuchi Ikpowala he didn't ready with the committees. And I na-ekenekwa ụmụ nwanne anyị ndị si na ha ga-agbara onwe ha ụgbọ ndị dịka Kachi, ndị dịka Ajụla Okeke, ndị dịka who was it gbakwara onwe ya ụgbọ. But achọrọ m report to Professor Obasigwe to the meeting. Professor Obasigwe kwuru na ya ga-agba airpiece. Wo na ya agaghị eji ụgbọala because ọ wụzi ụmụaka na anyị kwetere ekwete. Ma agazie na airline ndị airpiece asị na ama m na Professor Obasigwe alaikiro Enugu Air, so ma agba Enugu Air for me and him. Ya ewewe. Why can you go on like Enugu Air? I wouldn't have bought it for you. Yeah, Sizie na ya ga-eji ụgbọala aga. And in the Enugu Air, saying a ticket how non-refundable. I'm asking what to do. And it's a lot of money I dey lose. So tomorrow, agama gakwari ọha ka mmara na onwere otu ga-esi mee swap. Ọ bụrụ na ha ga-swap. Not that we are asking for refund, because had there no refund na their ticket. Mana ọ bụrụ na onwere otu ga-esi mere anyị swap. Nchọta otu ha ga-esi mee swap, then mmara. Mana it's a money na amam na ebe m si weta ego m ga-esendịrị Professor Obasigwe ka o wee gbaa moto wee bịawa on Sunday. So ana m akwado m ga-aga Enugu Airport echi. M ga-agakwa Nsụka ka m gaa rịọ Obasigwe ka ọ baa Enugu ha ncha n'ofu isi m. M ga-agakwa funeral n'Enugu Ezike tomorrow. Nwee na-arịọ meeting. Amanụ na-agagharị Obasigwe ka ọ baa Enugu. Arịọna m ya ajụ. So nsogbu adịghị. I will try my best. Nke m emerọ emegwuru ọnụ m ya. So 6:30 in the morning, I will pass by the airport. If I pass by the airport and they don't agree, I will proceed to Enugu Ezike for the burial. If I'm coming back from Enugu Ezike, I will stop in Nsukka and see the Professor Obasigwe. Can you see your cash? Go wee gbaa moto. Wee bịawazie on Sunday or Saturday. Then we would have lost that 135,000. So that is the scenario, the report. And I'm happy, I'm very upset about it. But I want to Prof nyere clear instruction, airpiece or nothing. I would have known, I would have complied. But Austin, I will not travel by road and I will fly airpiece. So when I didn't see airpiece, I thought that he could have flown any other airline. Mom no like Enugu Air. That is the report. Agama Agwa Okuchi ka origye the meeting. Okuchi, are you there with the list?
Information, Your Excellency, new information. Because
Yes,
God,
yes.
God forbid.
Chere ka anyị mee the core
Uh,
issues
I'm,
in the meeting. Time,
I'm not
ọkwa
saying
time.
a word of me against you because never. Chetakwa that I apologized. Biko ewe niwe. A word of me against you. God forbid my will against you. Chetakwa na ngwa gị, no borrow your blame. No borrow my blame. But I didn't remember to say a piece or nothing. Ewe niwe. I got swap. I got chọta nwa ego use the ticket. Ewere mgbazi ụgbọala enugo ewe n'iwe ọjọọ ihe m chọrọ itinye biko ewere m n'iwe biko gbaghara ihe m na-agwakwa ya the actual thing bụ na m nọ in solidarity with the trade unions. I have so many friends there. Ịbịa afụ m ebe m na-eje ịgba airplane when they are on strike. We make all sorts of friends. Oh my God, when we miss the flight, one of those workers made sure I got a flight to Abuja or to somewhere. Mankaije and Sokoto see the connecting flight to Lagos and friends are in the when they are on strike. Oh, him to say, come back there, Muti, Nugo,
Hold on, and then more about it. Ọ bụrụ na ọ maka ihe strike a ka prof ji eme ihe a ịma na ọ na-aghọta serete ndị nwere data issue bụ ndị airpeace ọ bụrụ ndị Enugu air yesterday mgbe m nọ na-abịa Lagos a ndị ọzọ nke ha bụ ka ụzọ mepee asị na ndị airpeace bụ ndị na-ekwere ka ndị otu ha join na union mmecha will send you a document to that effect. More have been for candle to join an union. Where that issue. But later in the evening yesterday, they resolved it. You have some time to make sure that they adjust to it. How much the strike as at now? Then you have time. Oga Bobo and no have job. The air transport workers union again. I joined the strike. The strike was called off. One on both of the airplanes came yesterday. That was why flight to the Lagos yesterday by 11:45. The end is the 5:45. So our question then we have. Not worry yourself. It has been sorted out by them. Because the point where we think they are going to have
Professor Chukokolo, in a connection, Lenugu Airport, can you, what can we do about that ticket? Can it be, that's
no, understand what I'm saying. I have explained to him why he should use it. That's what I did.
If it can be swapped to airpiece, I use airpiece.
No, it cannot.
I think it's possible.
Strike to go to airpiece. The Nana said I hear on a union. They do one strike. One more strike.
No problem, bro. Why you
That's what I'm saying. Don't have. For him for a while. You can ask them.
How could she go to strike? How could she go?
How could she go? I'm seeing that they look at problems before.
Professor Igwe.
So.
Professor Igwe. Igwe Mark ordering him again. Oh, and when 5% surcharge, the APs were supposed to contribute to the airport authorities, which also will go to the unions. When you was Enugu Air, but because of APs is a giant in the aviation industry, you know, now affected other airlines. Enugu Air no here, United Nigeria no here. So remember Berga on Tuesday, I'm sure you know. The way that problem, Brufuno, Bowa, issue, Asimoke, and Haga, Bo Minister. The minister was in the mega strike, Sahangwa, they should step down. After all, long his organization, Aga, plus That figure that AP Sachokwa can unionize. But the main crux of this problem was 5% ticketing surcharge that was supposed to, after the airline collects it, it will retire it for general blah 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 federal airport authorities as well. So that was why the minister had authority to say, call it off. Thursday, come to my office and I'll try to resolve the problem between FAN, the unions, and airpeace. So Mongoma Daga over the airport ATM, Bemgaruro, Akoko about me not coming on time and my seat having been given to someone else. So Mjiwe, when it goes all value jet Ibiaburum 130. Them with 210,000 over the airport in Jibata, Abuja, because Bodo na group na gebe here. So let me get myself to Abuja so that people don't come here and I'm not here. Yesterday, come happen Imo Airport, no Abuja. That's why I'm just so. I do not want to partake in that Genyego. I've already been able to bring myself here, and of course, I can look after myself in Abuja since we are challenged.
Thank you very much.
With the union, since you're complaining about the union, we a peace. So if there's any aircraft you will not take because of the problem with the union, all air peace. So because take Enugu Air because they them so that you can come. Enugu Air doesn't have problem because one, Enugu Air is small, Enugu Air just started, Enugu Air has not yet amassed so much money in the 5% surcharge that should not be retired to fund in principle will now give it to the unions. Oh yeah, we hear longer. Meaning they work with have got the addition of unionization. They are just okay. When I'm doing it, I go to me now. No way, I'm going to work it. Now you have to retire that 5% surcharge inside the ticketing fare so that they will be able to sort the union, sort of one order. Oh yeah, we hear again. Enugu Air is just started. Enugu Air hasn't collected enough money for them to now target that 5% surcharge. Two, Enugu Air is new. It hasn't gotten up to a year for them to even talking about unionization. No. So that 5%, the minister said that you will be able to talk to the management of airpeace. When I go of that 5%, the ego boy rule billions. So as I got to have because all will never go, they will never. When you go edge, the gene here to go airpeace. Oh, yeah, we have again.
Prof, we are waiting for you to react to the appeal of Kachi. Ononuju Kachi Dalo.
Prof, because it must be Agamarian, it won't numb. Our team again here.
Your Excellency, mgbe mụ na kwuchara Your Excellency, ebidogo m gị arrangement ọkwa m gwara gị agwa m gagba that I will come to Enugu. Agwago m somebody n'Enugu arrangement ka m ga-esi move from Enugu. So amaghịzi m ihe m ga-eme ugbu a ka m gbazie n'ụgbọala unu ewe n'iwe.
Risky for you to be
We are
taking
losing 135,000. Money we don't
We
have.
lose that money, and the no reason acting unless one no reason or no problem. But no reason the truth behind it. If you find the airport, when they gonna hammer. So because
Ana m asị na m emegonu alternative arrangement. Agwara m Her Excellency ma bịa nọ n'ebe a nọrụzi ebe a. I've started an alternative arrangement.
Your safety is what we care about. Your safety, we actually give back in one piece.
By God's grace, I will come in one piece. Enugu, na Sunday anyị
In
erutacha.
China get for her because that money will be on the and they can't bring it out.
It will be swapped. It will be swapped with another person. Yeah,
Okay.
it will be swapped. It will be easy to use.
Okay. What kind of
Jerry,
meeting we
can
have?
you help us with the swap?
I'm a
Emeka?
I'm coming back n'abalị Wednesday to Enugu
Emeka,
then because
Emeka,
I told you I
can you
tried to
assist?
route my destiny. Ego a na-ekwu too much. So m ga-esizi Enugu bịa on Sunday. That's it.
Emeka? Emeka?
Anyway,
Okay, so we lose 145,000.
so
Kedu ndị
ihe
nwetara
ga-eme
ego
bụ
ha?
emechaa mụ na onye a ekwuo ka m mara ma ọ ga-ejenwe ebe ahụ bụ Tigbo. Ma m maara na anwụ ya kara anwụ ya ejizọrọ aja ya n'otu.
Excellency, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you use the ticket if you have not yet bought
All right.
your
All right.
ticket?
I can use the ticket. I can use the ticket.
I will try to call the travel agency to ask them whether they can swap it. Then,
Okay. That's
while you now pass your transport money to Prof, let Prof where is your transport money be Abuja, and then
That's all right.
we will use his airfare. So let me try to do that while the meeting goes on, because every inch matters. The meeting should continue. And I'm making Ike for being up and doing, and I'm making Meke Siri for being up and doing. He came to assist me at the Ohanese Secretariat, where I was for 7 hours today, trying to put everybody's tickets together. And I'm making Kachi Ononuju for coming. Ndị maka emero their tickets, bikonu. Amara nume try get to nke Gombe, all the too expensive.
Your Excellency, Your Excellency,
Can I ask who is Obioma here? Obioma and Eric E. Who is Eric E. and who is Obioma? Obioma, Ogi one of Gombe.
Your Excellency.
Okay.
Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
Okay, yes. So you member of delegation, tell me your full name. And I'm actual name. Emeka Hyacinth Obioma as well. Is he on the delegation list?
Yes, it's one of the delegates.
Okay, because what we have to do is to make sure that all the delegates are paid. Can you call the delegates? Because when their Professor Swago, we have to drop him. Sama Amadi, we can't find him. We have to drop him. Then we are replacing the delegates that cannot participate with people resident in Abuja.
Okay.
If you run please transfer your money to Professor Dasiwe so that he can come by road. And then I will leave this meeting and I will come back to the meeting. I need to call the travel agent about swapping the ticket.
Okay.
Before we have a meeting, because I want to speak to Biko.
I'm coming back to the meeting. I just want to leave and stop this ticket thing and come back. Otherwise, we will be losing 145,000.
It's in connection with the ticketing. It's in connection with the ticketing, so that when you are going, you go with the whole thing together.
Who is talking now? This is Gombe?
Yes, Gombe. Let me explain something. Yes.
Gombe,
there is an engine.
290,000. We don't have it.
Hold on now. The ticket is not 290,000. The ticket is 190,000. That is one. Hold on, man. Let me explain. After explanation, you can take decision. Go and the chief executive of this association. You are comrade Ume. As at the time, these people get Gombe. The President General wrote me a personal letter for me to represent Ndi Ohaneze Rile, present a paper, which I did. I'll forward it to you. And not only that, Owolabi himself called me after my presentation. This one, he called me about 2 weeks ago that he wants me to be at this place. And that is why I made every arrangement to be there. And we called it that the whole of almost 95% of the whole people, now they're there. Only no single person from the north, not even one.
To
190
Abuja.
that is 190. At least if one person is from the north, one person is from the north, you can't tell me that the whole people, and this particular thing is already publicized in the north that this is where we are going. At the end of the day, no single person from there. We are over 15 million people from there. No single person that is there, no person is speaking for them. It's like nobody cares about them. I don't have any issue with that. If it's okay, I will also explain to them that
Now,
after
okay, I heard you. Hyacinth Ozo, right? Hyacinth Ozo is coming from Onitsha, right? And then Obioma is Kenneth Ugo. Ugo, can you please?
go from Kenneth Okugo is from Bombay. Kenneth Okugo is from
Okay,
Bombay.
Ugo and Hyacinth also. Kenneth Ugo and Hyacinth also. Okay, let this meeting continue. Let me address their ticketing issues. Then we will be left with about 400 to 600,000. Then when we get to Abuja, we pay that into the hotel, and then everybody will look out for their feeding. I'll join the meeting again.
All right. Ndewonu. Ọ bụrụ na unu ga-ekwe ka m kwutọpụ ihe m na-ekwubu banyere Igbo position. Ihe anyị kwuburu mgbe mbụ bụ na anyị ma na ha ga-enye anyị na anyị ma nweta justice n'aka ha. Na anyị ga-eme emphasize an advert in the newspapers and a document we can send to various nations, embassies. Ihe a ga-ewe ego. 3 adverts in the newspaper of, let's say, 4 pages each might take up to 2, 3, 4 million each. Among the rate ugbu a, because ihe ndị Igbo na-eme ugbu a ga-adị very neat to read in relatively bold letters with our maps there. And they go see our maps. Maka a map tells a trillion stories. Ka e wee mata ihe ebe ndị Igbo na-aga, anyị egosi ụwa ihe anyị bụ. Ọ bụ ihe anyị kwuburu na anyị ga-eme. Na anyị ga-egosi our map, tell the world our story, emewazi ihe dị ha mma. Anyị ekwutego n'ebe a na-ewekwara ike na enyekwa Igbo position that this restructuring should not be after election, not before election, so that it cannot be a pretext for elongation of tenure. Anyị ekwenye ọbụla mata nke a na Igbo ama assign for elongation of tenure maka emechaghị election otu esi mee ya na 2023 ka a ga-esi mee ya ugbu a. The opposition people are not united. Ka unu ga-esi bee onwe unu mkpirisi, and you hope to defeat somebody with all the institutions of state manipulated in his favor. So until they do that, the election is over. Therefore, restructuring must come before election. I put that there can be no agreement for elongation of tenure. Agwara m Owolabi na ebe ndị onye chọrọ ichi till eternity ya achị ya, provided na enye ndị Igbo ihe ha chọrọ. Agwago m gị lee ihe ndị Igbo chọrọ. China chọrọ this dismemberment of the Igbo From the say, not in my hand, not in my hand, it is in the hand, not the hand, and the hand. Anyị ekwetego nke ahụ. Ọ bụ ka Igbo mara ihe a na-achọ. That is why Professor Kachi Ononuju is very important here. Maka anyị ga-afụ somebody ga-eme adres ihe Ọkachukwu Dubia ndị Yoruba na-ejo na-edunye ka ọ na-eme attack ndị Igbo. Anyị ga-achọ ego eme adres competently. Anyị emego exonerate. Anyị akpọrọ ya aha, but we have indirectly or directly exonerated the Ikwere and the Rivers Igbo from the abandoned property. Maka speech anyị ga-eme, ọ sị na achọrọ ndị ihe ahụ sị anyị ekwugo that ndị Igbo dị in harmony, that na o nwere anybody ya na ibe na-ese, na o nwere onye Igbo megidere ibe ya. Ndị Igbo wepụtago definitions, parameters for establishing ethnicity, ethnic nationality. There has to be a definition of ethnic nationality. Above all, a definition recognized and used before the Civil War. I could go the speech I complained before that giving each region 5 minutes is a way to rubber stamp ihe ha kwuguru. They took many hours and weeks and years to arrive at ihe ha chọrọ ime. Ha enyezie gị ma na-anọrọ ebe ahụ 5 minutes to say what you want to say. We are complaining about that. Na 5 minutes adịrị enough. Ka ndị mmadụ kwuo ndewo ni.
Hello. Good evening, all. Because you mentioned my name in the course of your presentation. So actually clear no problem.
Okay.
Not the meeting.
Sorry. Lugo.
Biko nwere ihe m chọrọ ikwu banyere ndị ewepụrụ n'ara ha agazi na this delegate list a. Prọfesọ Chidosa gwụsi agaghị aga. Then enwere onye ọzọkwa Chief Chigbo Izundụ aha adịghị ya. So our delegate list are short wala na ka ndị a ga-eji mezuo ya nụ.
Kamsa nke ahụ. O nwego onye Anioma ewebatara. Augustine Oko.
Okay, from text ka e were make complete ene ha.
Okwuchi. Okay, you get text ga my number gị na ekwu Augustine Oko.
Very complete.
Mụ na-arụkọ n'ihe research ihe ndị Igbo a, ma I linked him to Her Excellency. Her Excellency n'onwe ya recommend ya. So all the
don't worry yourself. We have had you. You may send earlier the name and don't explain further.
That's all right. Thank you.
Adema, I stopped there. Thank you. O nwere onye ọzọ ma ọ bụ ihe ọzọ? Ekwuba okwu họteelụ anyị ga-abịa, onye ọbụla ga-abịa. Ekwuba okwu ahụ. Ọ bụ T40 ahụ ka anyị ga-abịa.
When they knew that yesterday. When they knew that yesterday, her report on that Mamo Yaka Igwe.
Kedu họteelụ a ga-report?
Yes, on the accommodation issue, Dr. Professor Kachi, I hear first 40. But a man from him, I tried calling him in the afternoon, but the phone got not through. I went to first 40. And even at the platform, as we speak, let's send in the pictures of the room and as well as the first 40 and their rates. The rates of the rooms. Yeah.
Confirm. Yes.
Yeah. So let's go maybe it's don't throw, not up to 200 meters to Dennis Hotel. Dennis Hotel is a bigger hotel, like I said. You know, I want to check here the rate for first 40. First 40 on 52,000. Some of their rooms are now only bet 50,000. Or the guy who put the 2,000. I made them all their regional manager. I think I had a discount. All the rate had lower than every other hotel within this area. Because from my office to First 40 is just about, it's a walking distance. So then the Dennis Hotel, the rate in Nokadia, 100,000 naira with their room. The standard room have 100,000 naira. Mana the person who know Namonia for over 25 years. Dennis Dunes, only here. So only like 65,000. And the condition for that one about mother boy in a room. And we're in the rooms with separate bed. These pictures are not there. And it's a more modern hotel. And their breakfast they were okay at 65,000. Then I go to another hotel. My friend Livy Villa Park. Balankia ma adịghị n'ime, ọ dịghị na central here nke dị na Apo the outskirts. Ọ dịghị n'ime Usetu here dị just a stone throw to ebe a na-eme ife. And the other place mụ check kwara hotel na Usetu here mainly because of Usetu where ebe more of a commercial district. If you go to Kehana Asokorozi, ndị ahụ ebe ndị a na-etinye ha aka. Cheapest more than these their modern hotels and a story building Morgan convert all of them are in their 60,000-70,000 naira a night, which is a normal distance. So as a result, all those that I want land now that Dennis Hotel.
First 40.
First 40 is now I want two people in a room. Now one person got breakfast, yeah. One person got breakfast, which is almost about 8,000 naira. So in let's say and you know now almost the same thing with the 65,000. And the one key is to compare first 40 with the Dennis Hotel.
Your opinion. Give us your opinion now.
Opinion I'm going here for security, proximity to Ebanaga, and neatness to the place because there is economics that are actually stable club, but you can't break up in Rosia. It's spend the Grego or was there additional maybe 5,000 games again, not easier, not here. Come. Kai try Dennis Hotel.
That's it. Me like. So that's your opinion. You got it as a professional opinion.
Can you address Dennis Hotel?
Hold on. Address Hano Kwana Usetu here. My first 40. Hano just within 200 meters. Oh, it's a walking distance. When I check, I'm Mama SND what's it called? Let's send them their brochure. Can you their price list here or whatever? Come forget them out here. Put their address.
Their flyer.
No. Their hotel, the tariff, the rates.
Okay.
Then
because destination.
I'll get the destination and send to. I will send to us. But the rooms because I was able to snap all the rooms. I snapped the rooms and then with a little description on each hotel.
Obo Egera Bellagio.
Biladio, I can't Biladio now. Saying that we're the same place. I can go to Biladio tomorrow, but imagine Biladio, the mama no dicha hell. Oh, when in Keno, immediately after Biladio. Oh, Koni Bonwea.
Yes, because ndị line ekwu gbawu ndị Igbo.
Biladio nwanne m nwaanyị onye arọ ndị Izọg.
Ime onye ọwụ.
Of course.
Nwanne m nwa.
Biladio arọ ndị Izọg. So
and the guy will get Dennis, since he could give us at that 55, the prices are very close to each other, and I think that makes a lot more sense. 65 is Dennis, and the hotel, all the always standard, and their breakfast is all the better than you can. Even because Dennis makes. Dennis Hotel ka I know before during our campaign, Muna Peter. Before I was about John Wood.
Okay, yes.
So Dennis is good, and he's one of us. And we recommend that we do him. Since Dennis and First 40 are the same walking distance, about 100 and just about 100 meters from each other.
Exactly.
I land never.
I may send the wanted the
Emeka Nebole.
Wuse too. All of them are
from First 40 Junction. You can walk into Dennis Hotel by just 100 meters. You can also walk out of First 40, get on the roundabout Ebe Motinino and find a vehicle. So it is actually, yes, the Dennis Hotel is also in the middle of the town, just like First 40. They're only separated by just 100 meters.
So, Ebang Ganobu, Dennis Hotel, Wuse too.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all. Nke ọzọ dịka ibe ya ka compile the list ndị emegoro approve ebe ọ ga-abụ anyị nzukọ echi akpọpụta aha ndị mara amara, akpọpụta ndị ga-eji ụgbọelu, akpọpụta ndị ga-eji ụgbọala, amara ebe ha si abịa. Ọ ihe anyị ga-eme echi ka o doo anya ihe ọbụla. Anyị na-asịkwa onye nwere ike ịgbanwe ụgbọelu maọbụ ụgbọala bịa, anyị chọrọ anyị niile soro jee ebe ahụ ka onye ọbụla mara ihe ibe ya na-eme, ka onye ọbụla benye aka n'ihe a ndị Igbo na-eme, Naịjirịa na-eme, ka ọ ghara ịbụ ịrapụ isi na o nwere onye bụ ọkachamara, o nwere onye bụ ọkachamara ebe a. Anyị dị nzuzu n'ọtụtụ ihe, ma emekọ ofu ọghọọ amamihe. Ya ma bụ arịrịọ mụnwa na-arịọ unu n'ikpere m n'ala na-asị biko ka anyị niile gbazuo, ma ụmụ nwoke ma ụmụ nwaanyị jee ebe ahụ. M na-asịkwa unu onye ọbụla matakwa na a na-ele anyị anya. Asịrọ m na ụmụ gwara m na a na-ele anyị anya, ma elu ma ala ama m na ndị a na-achị achị bụ ndị Igbo nọ n'Abuja ka na-ana ntị ka a mara nke na ihe anyị na-akọgheri, ma anyị ga-akọta ihe dịrị Igbo mma. Ha ga-achọ ịma makwa emekwa elu ma ala ma elu. There will be legislative backing to everything we are doing. Even if it results in a revolution, there must be a legislative content which will require our politicians. Now, the politicians ugbu, or who will be politicians tomorrow, which will require our intelligentsia, our businessmen, which will require our people, either in the plebiscite or in referendum. Referendum ahụ anya ma akwete referendum ma plebiscite. Are you Igbo or are you not Igbo? We will not. We will agree on the nature of the questions, because we have to make sure on the probable pattern of response. Enwere game a na-egwukwa na plebiscite. and in the questionnaire. If we get so, in fact, all I know, we should have held a seminar, 1 or 2 seminars. Ebe anyị ga-lebido onwe anyị anya jụọ ajụjụ jụọ ese onye ọbụla akọwa ka o si dị ya n'obi ihe ọ ghọtara na ihe ọ ghọtara onye ibe ya amụta ihe anyị na-eme n'onyonyo ọjọọ mpekere ka anyị na-agwa onwe anyị okwu ma onye ọbụla
eche m na ọ ga-eme nke ahụ oge ọ dịbe too late anyị garachara ụlọtagodo ebe enwere ofu ihe m dịka na-ekwu okwu mgbe enwe ihe m chetara nwanne ya nwoke si mgbe o jere gị ịkpọ ndị ahụ chere nyere anyị aka ha jụọ ya sị first question ha jiri ya bụ emekwele ka ndị ọha na eze mara asị yes. Second question bụ emekwele ka ndị senators anyị mara ha sị ya emebe nke ha ya unu kwesịrị ime ka ndị senators anyị mara ihe unu na-abịa ime. So mgbe m nụrụ ihe m sị oke ekwesịrị ekwupụta okwu a ọ bụ eziokwu na anyị na-akpọ ha ndị politicians but o nwere mgbe oge ga-erukwa you will need them to play some role. Ana m echesi question ahụ ajụrụ ndị agaghị maka inye aka sị ha ka ha nyere anyị aka maka this transport and accommodation. A sị na how the big men na Abuja ha nwere ego millions ajụọzie ya ajụ a so ahịa m ji ewepụtagodo okwu a ọwọ dịghị mma ka anyị gaa ka anyị mere ndị apology sị ha na sorry anyị na-abịakwa Abuja sorry na ọ dị too late but anyị ụnụ ndị na-anọpụta anya anyị na Abuja na the Senate anyị sịkwa ka anyị kelee ụnụ. Ana m asị na ọ dị mma ka eme ihe dị taa.
Emeka, Chukwu gọzie gị maka okwu anyị kwuru. Chukwu gọzie gị nnukwu. Ị ga-ede leta nye Benjamin Kanu. Dekwa leta kedu onye bụ Senate the high person na Senate ndị Igbo nwere onye a nke ngwa onye a
because see the letter we get Tony Nwoye and Victor Ume.
Ọ ga-abụ Victor Ume kedu leta wee nye Benjamin Kalu na Victor Ume rịọ ha ka anyị si rịọ ndị ọha na eze gwa ha ihe anyị na-abịa ime rịọkwa ha enyemaka.
Ọsọ mmadụ abụọ ndị a ka ihe na-ekwu.
That is members of the house. Members of the house. Care of. Members of the Senate. Care of. Ị ga-edekwa leta. Ọ bụrụ na ndị mmadụ kwetere nye Senator Ned Nwoko nke anyị ọma.
Yes, you are right.
Lee ma ọ ga-enyere anyị aka. Onye ọbụla ị na-eleta wee nye ana m arịọ gị tinyekwuori ya maapụ 3 ndị Igbo ji wee na-aga.
Ọ dị mma
maka maapụ aha ị sere ọ tọkarịchara Ned Nwoko nnukwu ụtọ.
Yes, ọ skatara ebe everywhere.
Obi dị ya mma.
Prof, Tony Nwoye.
Ma Tony Nwoye, yes.
Ma Senator Balide.
Senator Balide.
Yes.
Because
in my own little contribution, more discussion with somebody. I will common friends with Kedefana Bembo Abaribe Munyama Enya Ned Nwoko. All the other interested. I mean, can reach here, but I can go from you people first. I want no Mother Abua and the other and Victor Munyama. And open them with the can as well, because who know has room. And the cause of the pandemic, the kind of because I contacted few people. Mando Koliki Nirayaka, financial.
What of the House of Rep?
Nandi House of Rep, one who name Gasigan and one Gasigan and Mowaji right now. They got to go. My mother not to mention over here. Both my apart from Tony Moye, money eji number but go money Quebec. Mana ihe dịka Victor Ume, Abaribe, and the Ned Nwoko. We can read that word. So other people might want to have them. And the Ned the church and nine Basara one because all of them on
Yezie Emeka number ha. Yezie Emeka number ha.
No problem.
Prof, ugbo ikwule ihe ikwule, enwere ihe m chọrọ ịgwakwa ụnụ. Last week, Papa Hunda kpọrọ mụ na ya chọrọ ebe m nọ n'ụlọ m so yes, ebe m bịa ya na-abịa n'ụlọ m si abịala, ele nga ị nọ, ma bịakwute m itoro m. M ga-ahụ ya. Ya asụ m na ya chọrọ ka I draft a position on restructuring m ga-ewegara Peter. M na-ajụ onwe m, Papa Hunda na asụ m anyị gaga meet restructuring for Peter Obi. What about Tinubu? So because if you remember, map. In that map, they were very interested in removing Ohaji into a different jurisdiction. That was that. So I need that bank. You know what you did, Professor Bassi. Yeah, some organic and the body queer. One. The reason the body went so with the British was the discovery of that hydrocarbon in that Obaru Basin. Because why do you now want to cover the Obaru Basin out of Igbo jurisdiction? So for me, I'm suspicious of what you're doing. So yeah, and you come more down. Then na Bamba na Tinubu Luzo now the Bokaga Eboe. So the way you're going about this thing is going to upset our people in the Igbo. So hey, cool, low down. Later on, yeah, someone Naigaga I Peter. Peter, what of Tinubu? Let it be a position shared by all candidates to the election. So that again, I know why you wouldn't be. Then you now use that to get the North to go against Peter's political interests, and then Tinubu is free. Whatever you draw up as under Fenifere, I will give you last week. Let us look at it, and then the Yorubas and everybody will put minds to it. So what about this conference? Nigeria, what about the South and Middle Belt Forum? Something. So that's why I'm very interested in where you could Professor Igwe. You're right. They are very, very, very interested in where that gas field is. It gives them sleepless nights because this was the real reason the British started their policy of the immunization of the hydrocarbon bearing deltaic areas. Mr. Fabo, Niger Delta is not an ethnic area. That's what you mean. So the Igbos are the largest single ethnic group that live within the deltaic tributaries of the Niger River. That's what you mean. So the Niger Delta is a geographical area. And the problem I went with the British during the time of that Willings Commission arose from the British discovery of those gases. Don't forget, Anambra's oil were capped. It was only Obasanjo that uncapped it, and that what brought Orient Petroleum to where they are today. No explorations have been allowed in the old eastern region. Everything we've discovered, from the one at Ohaji and Ano North, were all by accidental discoveries. The ones in Enugu were accidental. Same thing everywhere. Because of that government policy of no exploration in the old eastern region, specifically in the southeast of the country today. So I am not very trusting of Ebendi Yoruba Naga. Why would we have this conference when they have called those just us, then called those people willing to antagonize us. Of course, I know who that man is, Dibia. Dibia is an anti-Igbo person who has been on that federal project of trying to deny his Igbo-ness. Or heritage denier. That's some white. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You don't know that I know. This Port Harcourt, me and you grew together. The reason why all those Calabari people started changing their Igbo names to the names of British boat captains is that same strategy of demonization. There's something so me and you know that time David West, the family name was Swago. And the rest, just like Hosford, and the rest of them. So yeah, so please, those of you who still believe in the demonization project, I'm very mindful of your activities and I'm not happy. And so let us be careful who Babunda and his friend may have chosen from this hydrocarbon-bearing parts of Igbo land to come to that meeting and start going against us. If we're going to discuss just and the Yoruba without inputs from the people in the Middle Belt or even the far north, I wouldn't think it's a very, very intelligent thing for us to do, because they may just be wanting to set us up for us to come there and start screaming, we want to leave, we want to leave. As we see, that's what Peter wants to do. Then they now want to give advantage to Tinubu. Let's be very careful with what we're doing within the Yoruba. I'm happy you people have said it now. I want to agree very well with Ojukwu. But when he got back there, and then they started telling him that he can be deputy president, nowhere that, there is nothing that's out of order, that they may still be on the same treacherous path. So let's be careful as we meet them. Where the Middle Belt? Because Nigeria. Don't forget, and I agree with you, it's not every Yoruba man that's against us. It is mostly the Yoruba Muslims. Yoruba Muslims, since after the Civil War, the Fulani have only propped up Yoruba Muslims, people like Arishekola, Abiola, and now Tinubu, sidelining the Kapa, Debanjoha, Obasanjo, all those Yoruba Christians. No. So what I see, and of course you had the words of that Sheikh Jangir, the Muslims know very well that at the end of the Civil War, Nigeria was 35% Muslim. But through the cascade of coups by Buhari, Babangida, and Abacha, they now wrote decrees that superimposed the intentions and wishes of the Muslims on top of us. I know very well, if I look at the correlations between population density and also school enrollment, population density, hospital records, population density, and bank records, Nigeria till tomorrow morning remains a Christian majority country. But because we, the Igbos, represent the largest stock of Christians in West Africa, that's why we were being targeted. I don't think we're being targeted because of our ethnicity. No. It was because we're that Christians. But the other Christians now, they lost it, and that's why you're seeing they're being dealt with. At the Civil War period, the largest pool of Christians in the north, or Nigerians who joined the army, were the TV. The TV are mostly Catholics. And then NKST, which stands for Lengu Christi, Al Sudan Hentif. In English language, it means Nduke Christ in the Sudan of TV origin. Because before Nigeria was created, a lot of northern Nigeria was regarded as Sudan. That's why Gahunda was a Haitian, Yaneshi, Abo has a Sarkin Sudan. Now Wuruno. Sarkin Sudan of Wuruno. That was the last title of Alhaji Isa Dagazau. And me, I grew here in the north, so I understand them. I'm here, Agoga. Let this not be a strategy to set us up to go and embarrass P2B, and then the Yoruba say, you see, the north, you see, if you vote P2B, all he will come here is what his people want, and that is separatism. I hope because I'm happy with what you've just said this night, Professor Igwe. It's not link me to what I've been watching Fabu Hunda do all through. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Their eyes is on the hydrocarbon fields, which I said explained in my interview. That large area in between Obad of Ndionyo, which I said is Ndionyo in River State, and then Obad, Keatani, which is where still Lord are represented at the Senate. So all that basin is called the Obad Basin. 60% of the oil produced and accruable to River State come from that basin. 100% of the oil from Imo State come from that basin. 100% of that from Anambra also from that basin. So, and most of that comes from Delta State also is there, apart from the other ones that are to be found in the Warri area. Let's be careful. I'm happy for your words, and that's what's making me now add this to also inform you of my experiences dealing with Akin Fabuhunda. When at the beginning, you, Professor Basi, Barakinogo, you and Professor Swago, it was based on this. Akin Apom, so Kachoge, so where do we meet? We met because me and him are members of the Eminent Elders Forum. The reason the Igbos don't like your map in this your suggestion is that you now drew a map in which you removed the hydrocarbon bearing areas, you removed that Oshimura Obaru Basin out of Igbo jurisdiction, and I don't trust you. So I don't know the people he's going to bring to come there and talk. Of course, he kept down that map, but of course, I believe the map is still somewhere. So whoever is calling this meeting, let's be careful who we are dealing with. Thank you, sir.
Professor Kachi Ononuju, you will live very long. Enugu. Chukwu ga-agọzi gị gọzie and expand
Ndewo, Prof.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Isi ike. Fabuhunda ahụ, ọ sịrị na ihe mere na Rwanda bụ ihe ga-eme ndị Igbo ma ọ bụrụ na onye nke ha eluzo, nke mere nkịta ara nsị ezere ewu. So ha vote against his man somewhere. Ndị Igbo wee taa ahụ ya. Ha niile bụ ofu obi. Asịkwara na ha na-ekwu iche iche. Dịka Kachi nwanne anyị kwuru, we have to eat with long spoons. Isi and community ọbụla a ga-ewepụta, anyị ga-akụ ha line by line by line by line. This is a game. Ihe niile a na-asụ is a game. Ka anyị were nke anyị dotere anyị dịka Kachi kwuru. Ekwutere nke a, ekwutere nke a, kedu ihe ọzọ anyị ga-ekwuzi? Just bịa sign ya. And then we approve the Yoruba region. They render the other regions in disputation. Ọ na nwatakịrị ka ọ na-agwa ihe. Ma ya dịba, mgbe anyị mitiri na Abuja anyị, ha na-ese ihe niile.
Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof.
Ndewo.
Ndewo, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Ọ wụrụ that na ihe ibu ụzọ gwa anyị at the beginning ka gị na Owolabi ji kwuo, bịa adịa ya to ihe Dr. Kachi na-ekwu. Ịhụla that na enwere certain things not there that they on the ground. And I totally agree with him that na ọrụ na agadi ebe ahụ hụ that na ọsọsọ ndị Igbo na ndị Yoruba na ahụghị ndị Middle Belt, ahụghị ndị South na ndị Ijaw and all the other group. Let us beat a retreat, because ihe niile a na-ekwu na-push now could be, even though that now them sure it has started very long ago, but even when you go na plan ahead of you. And ọrụ na-eru ebe ahụ n'ọghụghọ amarazie that na-achọ ka epush ndị Igbo ka ọ bụrụzie that na Peter Obi bịa asị lekwa ihe ndị obodo unu na-ekwu, onwe oge unu kwetara na one Nigeria, ihe alile unu na-ekwu just a means of divide Nigeria, and Peter Obi ga ebe ahụ ọ ga-awụ number one agenda ya. So I am pleading with everybody. He has brought a wisdom, o wetala word of wisdom ebe ahụ, plus ihe gụnwa prof na onwe gị kwuru oge anyị bidoro ihe a ka eji kpọọ ọgụ na-ekwu otu ndị DSS na-ekwu otu ndị a niile na-agwa gị sị gị erezikwala abandon property na erezikwala all these things ịhụ that na probably agenda is being set. So let us ka anyị mụrụ anya dị ka azụ and then be circumspect in ihe anyị na-eme because ndị anyị na ha na-eme ihe will push us into trouble. It has been done before severally. Ọgụ anyị lụrụ agha anyị lụrụ abụghị anyị adịghị suppose ịlụ agha ahụ anyị lụrụ agha ndị mba ọzọ and ha nwa adọgharịzie welatia ya aka azụ nwinizie. So for me nwere ka obu anyị ji dị ụta let us bie nkwụcha mara that na it is likely that na ndị na-eset ihe a up or ndị na-epush ya I know Wela be very well we've stayed together but we may not know ihe dị mmadụ n'obu and ndị anyị na-eme ihe eziokwu adịghị ha arịọ ka na-arịọ let us have ihe okwu plus ihe gụnwa gwara anyị at the beginning of ihe a ka gị na ha na-abụji kwuo let it be at the back of our mind.
Ihe kwuru bụ eziokwu. Ihe kwuru bụ eziokwu. Obi anyị abịakọtawago ofu. Obi anyị agụta. Otu awụla ezi ma ọ bụrụ ndị ọ dị m ka ndị na-asụ ihe abụọ Owerri. Otu awụla ezi. Ihule ka anyị kpachara anyị ihe anyị na-eme.
Ọsọ igwe nna biko dịka onye kwuru okwu achọrọ m iji opportunity ahụ were make an input and this input as m eme ya happily because Ambassador Okeke anọghị here. Yesterday was my first day na this meeting ka a na-ekwu okwu ahụ agbara ụnụ na ihe ọ na-aga ekwu ọ ga-adị mma ka kpọọ David Mark aha because of a role of player during abandoned property. In my opinion, it's not necessary now. Which onye aji anjo kam na-ekwu ana m ekwu ya to nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Professor Pasigwe. You can help you make enemies while we are just coming up. Enwere ike nwe opportunity mgbe aka ga-ekwu ma ọ na-aga ekwu okwu a dịka na anyị kọlịta anyị rugode ebe a ahụ okwu ahụ ọsụsụ ya. So can help you then complicate matter. Here my simple and honest submission. I wish you well, sir.
Chere ka nkwute obere ihe nke a. Mgbe anyị gara na Afara Ukwu 2017 June or thereabout, ngwa nwanne anyị nwoke eji si ya alụkwala ọgụ aghara ị na-alụ onye gị na onye a na-alụ gị na onye a na-alụ gị na onye a na-alụ mba keta igbuo gị legide ofu onye anya ofu ihe anya don't even personalize target the caliphate system bụkwa genocide against Christians and okwete ome nke ahụ nsị ka ihe i kwuru ugbu a nwa ogbu onye dị ka mba ihe m kwuru yesterday si ka anyị akpọna David Mark ahụ si ka anyị akpọtana aha onye ọbụla maka na enwere ihe na ndị Igala na Idoma na ndị gburugburu ahụ ma TV ha na-achọ ka ha soro ndị Igbo ka anyị ebetu n'aka maka ihe ndị Yoruba na plan bụ Yoruba na-pretend na ha chọrọ ịrapụ Nigeria onwere Nigeria ha chọrọ ịrapụ except ma ha kpụkọrọ ndị Ijo these hydrocarbons nwanne anyị kacha ọnọmuju na-ekwu formulating a means ha ga-eji onwere ndị magic miracle ha ga-ekporo ndị Ijo nọchiere ndị Igbo ụzọ from the block on the Igbo from the Gulf of Guinea access to the coast kpokọrọ ndị Ijo tinyere onwe ha site ihe sọrọ ndị fọrọ afọ mee. That's the game plan. N'ihi nke a ka anyị mee ka David Mark anya echetara anyị akpọna ya iyi anyị ekwute n'okwu ya ihe anyị dere ede godiri ihe anyị dere ede anyị akpọbatara ya Anya Pobatazira abandoned property, and you may go delete that aspect. We have even indirectly exonerated the query from it. In fact, then you are here tonight, whether I will be more explicit. So, all behind game, ihe kwuru bụ eziokwu. Anya ma alụ ọgụ aghara. Ka anyị legide ofu ihe anya. The less enemies we make, the better. Maka o nwekwa ndị n'ime obi ha chọrọ iso ndị Igbo. Ụmụ ndị Ijaw chọrọ iso ndị Igbo. E nwere ndị Urobo chọrọ iso ndị Igbo. Ndị Urobo the divided between Okpe and the other Urobo. Ndị Okpe chọrọ iso ndị Igbo. The other Urobo chọrọ iso ndị Igbo. Prọfesọ Ejite Oyobaire ọkwara ya na-alụ ada this man n'Ọhafịa. This big man n'Ọhafịa. Kedu ma aha ọkwara Ọsọmọ. They want to unite with the Igbo. Ndị Isoko chọrọ ka ha na ndị Igbo unite. Basange na Basakomo na Igede na Idoma na TV na Igala chọrọ ka ha na ndị Igbo unite.
Up to Plateau State.
Up to Plateau State. You are correct.
That's why the governor apologized to us.
Yes, so
all the people that connive with the Fulani against us today, the Fulani are killing them.
They are
From
regretting.
the Kaka and the Pansa in Gembu to the Birom to even the Jarawa, all the Lachoro Ife Sanye to become even the TV want to join us, sir.
Yes,
so Nyaga Guahawo, Honano, Emenanya accused in the 60s. They now have seen who the enemy is. When I started my Fulani monologue on television, I was intentionally trying to bring a word between the Hausa and the Fulani. That's why those were strategic.
Yes.
What are you doing? So, Your Excellency, the more I sustain my propagation, if it is not intelligently reported, only a matter of time will it become acceptable wisdom. And that's what it is. Don't go that here in Lagos. I don't know how to thank you. So what do you mean? Yeah, so you know I'm Hausa. So of course I know. Hausas want me to thank you. That's the only he brought me his private jet. So we can't talk now. But we know what you're doing. Places to know what's happening. TV. But all those things were strategies for me to do what? To separate the Fulani, keep them away. And that's what I did. They could not fault me because I had the history. I knew who they are. They came here during the Ottoman period as slave catchers. That's why. But the British now helped them in employing them as agents for the British to act as supervisors of the Hausa. Would they report back to the British that we term the history as indirect rule? So that's why in my agitation for independence, they were 100% successful in subduing everybody in the north. So the independence, I in the south, independence. That's why as I speak to you today, no Hausa man is emir anywhere in Hausa land. It's still the Fulani. So the Hausas have just woken up. You're very correct, my father. You are right, sir. So I gave you sense. Even when I did what I did with Peter, what we employed was what I called ethnic penetration. So don't worry, Your Excellency, we will get this well. When I had a meeting, all those people in the middle belt, I asked them to say, listen, the Fulani will not vote for us, no matter what it is, but let us play this game. I made it the name we're going for the first visit of PP. The next day, Sheikh Gumiku, anybody going to meet those people, blah, 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 they will say, 2 days after, we went again to meet another IDP. So that's sending the message round. That you might so I'll see you, sir. Yeah, sir, we care about your people. We see everywhere there is water, these people try to kill you. These people try to take your land. Yeah, so Obasanjo has joined, supported what we did. I'm happy most of you who understood, saw what I did in Abuja. I didn't take no when Peter told me he won't run. He told me he will not go against his principal. I kept quiet. Yeah, so one may lay put phone for Peter. So how did know where go? Obasanjo organized that for us the seminar at the Institute of International Affairs. That was the joint game between him and Ohaneze. And that's where Brigadier General Atom Kwara came as chairman. Okeano Iago was the moderator for that event. After that event, we had a meeting at Park Chidolwe's house. We called all sorts of people. They came here in the Water Hotel. Peter Abia, Ekucha, Peter Asum Kachi, let me be honest to you. Bafrawa Asum Kachim Susa. If you don't want to do any knocks, go and get Peter. I'm saying, why, sir? Yes, so that your people make money, they don't put it in politics. Peter brought money to Atiku in Port Harcourt. And that was why, after Atiku won, and all those your brothers, Dave Umahi and Ekuremadu, they were inside vehicle going to meet Atiku to discuss about VP. But they had it in the radio of the car they were driving that Peter had been chosen. And that is it. Later on, Peter told me, okay, he will do. And that's how we started. I built that thing with Tony Lokupe, who I have known before. I was making that noise in the PDP. It was troublesome. But somewhere, somehow, I knew to work. The minute Peter agreed, we went public. And with all the other Igbos who work with me here in Abuja, we built that organic machine called the Obedient Movement. And as they say, the rest is history. I do this not for me to gain advantage. I do it because I believe in the Igbo cause. I think we should be included in the equitable distribution of governance of our presidential system as Nigerians. But then when I may hear from Igbo, I'll be very happy. And I thank you people, my fathers and brothers, because it doesn't take everybody participating to save any nation or any group. It takes the participation of a few good men, and that's what it is. I'm going to make work, holding him. I'm a kind of history. That's what I do. I continue to do that. I propagate. And yes, today you people are here because do like Obiozo and Okemuche did. They were the main nucleus that strengthened us then Peter now agreed to run. I cannot thank Professor Obiozo. May his memory live well. And Okemuche. That was the most effective organization we've ever had. They worked with us. We got Obasanjo involved in what we're doing. Other Igbos came in, also Swago, everybody, we now built what shook the country. And I still know that. Everybody still fears what Peter can do. That's the game. That's why I'm careful of where the Yorubas are now desperately going to. Let them not mislead us. But of course, we'll engage them as soon as they mark on each other. That's why it's good that we're having this meeting. If you notice, I know but now that I've heard from Prof. Igwe, okay, let me now share my own pain. Of course, I've had dealings with Akin. I know him well. I know his game. But I'm careful too. The Yoruba want this game. But they're playing it as if after Tinubu, there will be no Nigeria. They now want to blame us. That was why I gave me a protest after the election. I told Peter, I said, we will not follow. They are saying we will not join the state. So they will not agree to zoning. And that's why I condemn all the Igbo politicians who did not work with me. I say it and I say it. I'm not afraid of anything. I told them, make you hate the so I will never forgive you. There are some games at the time when we were fighting for equity, you joined Atiku while I was with Peter, and you told me that I was deceiving Peter. Is it? They even organized a meeting at Rockview Hotel. That day I got there, it was me, Ume, and Nzozi Chuku defending. Before the meeting started, Peter called me because he was going to Lagos. I had gone the day before when he sent me to Kwankwaso. Went to Kwankwaso's house off Kasinala Christian. I begged him. I went with Jones Zepume, who came from the US for that. 3 hours. I know this thing you're saying, I'm under threat. So look at who called me as I was coming. Yes, so what? He said, General Lee Gusau called me before I came here, threatening me that I was disrupting the system. And so he's also been calling me as I know. That was why Kwankwaso didn't work with us. But now Obasanjo went to tell him, you made a mistake, and now he's working with us. So we've been through a lot of this hell before. And I do it, as I said earlier, for the sake of the Igbo cause. I thank you, Professor Obase.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency Abatago, Nemo, Your Excellency, Gawani Niru Nekedu, no. Dr. Wisi, no. Your Excellency, because why you couldn't?
Well, I was waiting with the travel agent. Come on, or swap with the ticket. So you see, I work was on it. While I come back to the meeting, I can't just keep waiting. So can Obioma tell me how much it is from Nnewi to Abuja by bus? Obioma High Center, how much is your airfare? Your bus fare, sorry. Obioma High Center, are you not in this meeting?
I think he's muted.
Okay, I don't know.
How the muted?
All right. Did we get any update from Chinabogo on hotel?
Yes.
Yes, Excellency, Inyagum the update already. Yeah, the charge is renewable. Dennis Hotel.
Okay, Dennis Hotel.
Yes.
Ngwa, get my account number, huh? So that whatever money is remaining tomorrow, I'll send it in there. Then I just here we share rooms and see what is there. At least we can pay them 500,000 tomorrow.
No
If you
problem.
can, please ask them to give me the account number this night, so that we deposit 500,000 to them. Everybody here, Bata, you proceed to Dennis Hotel. Riora any Dennis Hotel. Okay, any room with two beds.
Or two beds. And when they were to talk, the pictures on our platform as we speak already.
Biko. Aaron me choose the only money I get share room. Oga dikwa ego. Oga dikwa ego. Martina ina nukwa.
Yes, ma. Mom, yes, ma. Nuka. Oh, my God, you know.
Okay, all the one. So because we will pay that money to Dennis Hotel tomorrow evening, and Chinabogo, you can get your elite club in Abuja, something. Like I told you, the collected money was 2,135,000. Ihunano ihanaga up and down, and so let me have the account of Dennis Hotel tomorrow.
I want to after the meeting, account.
All right, thank you. I'll prepare the money tomorrow so that people can start going there on arrival. It's important we pay it so that people will start going there, and then I drop all the address on the platform.
Ana m asị ọhaneze PV kwere nkwa efolo gị ya up maka efolo ya up ihe o nyere ọ na-agụnye n'ihe a na-eme. Then Prọfesọ Bodike ndị nke ọ kpatara ndị ka ya na ya kwuru efolo ha up again na ntị nwantị onye nyere nwere ihe o mebiri. I'm sure that ọhaneze PV efolo ya up ọ ga-enye.
Oh, no, Professor Bodike Potachi na Bogno, Dimpa Nachotara Hotel, and Ogwara make something. Maybe you mere on any go down. I'm on the something, and then I held a meeting with him and the two of his friends. Can walk about Nagano. They said they will come back to us. I am hopeful that they will participate in the 7 o'clock meeting na Dennis Hotel on Sunday evening. We are having a meeting 7 o'clock at Dennis Hotel on Sunday evening. Chinabogo biko nyere anyị aka ka gị na ndị enyi gị bịa that meeting ka ha hụ anyị face to face ka amara na ihe a na-ekwu eziokwu. Then ana m arịọ everybody as you arrive, proceed to Dennis Hotel. Please drop the address of Dennis Hotel on the platform.
I will do that. We have discussed that already.
Okay, dalu dike ka ebu dike ka ebu.
O nwere other people. In fact, as a matter of fact, it's not because now this meeting I go late. Go some of our illustrious son discuss with Madeka Honorable Chikwe Udensi. In fact, on a check I boy and then make ambassador Oga Wuziechi because one burger covenant maybe give one onye isi anyị bụ Prọfesọ Igwe anyị nwere ike or even with Prọfesọ Chinedu Ebodike anyị nwa akpọ ya put on the photo in a large scale. Ndị a weta people ndị ọ ga-awọwụ na ha bata not only that na ihe anyị na-eme dị ha mkpa ọkwa ndị ga-akwado anyị n'ụdị pụrụ iche ịghọtago because ihe ya na-ekwu okwu ya kwa financial muscle is important ịghọtago asị ebe a na-eweta esi ebe a so that is the area mụnwa nwere ike isi wee nye aka ihe gbasara strategy ịghọtago ma ọkwa inwe aka ịkpọta ndị nwere ike na-enyekwara anyị aka na ihe anyị na-eme ka o nwee ike na-aga aga
Aga m arịọkwa gị ka ịgbalị abụrụ na ọ dị possible ka ha bịakwa Sundays meeting na the hotel ka ha hụkwa anyị soro anyị eme delegate
all the possible even Barrister Charles Ude and the Professor Chinedu Barrister Charles Ude and the Professor John Osonwa and the other people ndị m ga-akpọkwa ha ga-abịa. These are people ha nwere
Thank you very much. Ịma na ị ga-ayọ ha si ha biko ihe niile agbara ihe a niile a na-achọkwanụ abịara Abuja abịakwa Abuja onye ọrụ na ụkwa one way ticket so na ọwụkwa na ha kpọdara anyị na nsogbu ga-adịkwa all right, so that is good. Can somebody tell Obioma that if he does not unmute himself and give me his account details, that means he's not coming to Abuja. I don't have I have his account details, but he didn't tell me the bus fare from Nnewi to Abuja. I need to hear it from him directly. Okay. So we have got a hotel drop-in. We are having a delegates meeting. We are arriving with Professor Basigwe on Sunday. Everybody goes to the hotel. I will urge you men, I'm not going to pair you up. Two in a room. Only reach out to Martina, I'll share with you. Otherwise, I'll choose from among them. No,
ma, I'm there for you, ma.
All right, thank you so much. So I will allow the men to pair themselves up, and I will ask Dennis Hotel to give us 10 rooms of double beds each to start with. That's how we are going to do it. Open at the meeting, and we're on if also I knew, except then if also we can close the meeting.
Sorry, Your Excellency, because hello, ma.
Yes.
Yeah, you said in Ghana, I've not heard from you. Tamara, Chifoku from Gombe.
Chief Gombe, I have just asked the travel agent who is doing our ticket. I've just asked him to write your ticket. You will get it this night. I'll send it to you this night. Next person.
Then I'll stop the arrangement with my agent. I'll stop the arrangement since he's going to send it direct to me.
Yes, I'm going to send it to you. Yeah. For my own accounting purposes, somebody is a travel agent recommended by the Princess of Obama, Lady Chidi Wajumogo. She recommended the travel agent, and I'm using that travel agent to write everybody's ticket. So he's going to give me a billing sheet that I can share. I can put on the platform. I would like Onya Bara boss. Yeah, we take the receipt so that I can also put it on the platform. People Igbo like to know how their money is spent. If you don't tell an Igbo man how you spend his money, it doesn't give you another one tomorrow. At least I've been married to one for 33 years, so I can tell you how they behave.
That's correct. No, that's we want accountability.
I know. I'm asking what they were change.
ị na-ele ose nwaanyị ka a ga-eji weta
Dr. Katz,
yeah, because if I
yeah,
mistake.
you raised a lot
Yes.
of issues here, and I'm
Okay.
grateful that when we come, we will look at it because there's a work I just finished editing and wrote a forward. A forward to the author on how we were able to link up the Ottoman people to the genocide against in the East. And when you were saying all these things, they were resonating for our findings in that work. We intend that work will come out by next month. I have also sent the manuscript to this Mayor Arnold to see whether he'll be able, because on a US can get published the work and go on. I am very, very happy with what you have done. I didn't even know Onyabo Hausa Dangote is Onya Hausa to Kwakwacho.
Kwankwaso Wukonya was a betima the game in the north. Once Ibu, you try to link yourself to the Fulani, just like Atiku. You know, once you're big, you link yourself to the Fulani. But when you not dig deep down, most of these people are Hausa. The reason Dangote left the north, he told me that if you deal in the north, if it's politics, business, or religion, you must allow the Fulani stay in front. If you don't, they'll destroy you. So he now is safer with his business outside. You know, he wasn't really enjoying it when Abacha was there, all those people. But when Obasanjo came, Obasanjo showed him love. I think Liko is Hausa. That's why he is outside the north. If he's in the north, the Fulani will destroy his business. That's nobody
I asked you this because the chief protocol of Kwankwaso was playing with me. Sometimes immediately Peter aligned with Kwankwaso. He was playing with because in 2023 when that thing was going on, I had advised him with some of their friends to let Peter and Onya alone, even including Buba Gadima. Buba, they were laughing at us like we were mad. They said, you people are making mistakes. So but at the end of everything, when they walked now, the guy played one prank with me. Not the same professor. You see your people. You people are you are so sharp with life. You say what happened? I said, see how two Igbo men want to be Nigerian president from the background. Who say who are who? The Nigerian president's advice. Who say who are who? What do people be on Kwankwaso? Did you not hear what this man told us? That Kwankwaso is Igbo, but that in the
because
north here he has
of
aligned.
Akwankwa and Sons. That story
Yes.
about Akwankwa and Sons. If you
Yes.
notice that name, Kwankwaso, you don't see it's not a Hausa name. People don't bear it. No one else has it. So they know what they are telling you about the Akwankwa and Sons. So Otako Shiworo. I used to be a Hausa teacher. Not only have I lived there, I also was a teacher. And I told him Hausa. And so that's why you saw I was successful. Na TV, na agaram huntua. I don't masu funtua. I'm so huntua. Now Saga Master Almu part of them because in Hausa land, things like F and a boy H, like photo or hutu, and funtua and you're not boy huntua. But all those things, yes, they help to endear me to them, to tell them here one of them. I knew they couldn't do that, and Dangote told me, look, what you're doing, we cannot pay you enough, but continue. And I understood what I was doing. And I took it till the Hausas woke up. I also know I'm lucky because a lot of the things I do, if some people do 10 or 5% of it, they'll be picked up. So I have that
They'll
grace.
kill them.
Of course they will. So, because I used to do mangala with my mother in Yauri. So all those places, Yauri, Jega, Tambuwal, places like Breeding Kudu, Breeding Valley, all those places were places I grew with. And then I schooled in Jos. So I grew up prepared for what I'm doing today across country. And I know why they can't touch me. Remember when Osibanjo said he would remove immunity and take me to court? That was when all of them, the Fulani, they started calling me. Number of don't be used. So nobody's using me, but there's nothing wrong with imploding them. Later, when I met Yemi, if I see you near any court, I will open chapter 2 of my files on you. And I believe that I was walking alone and I knew the danger of working with these people. You work with them, you get out of it, you're dead. That's why how come they don't touch you? Also because you used to take money from them. It's like taking something from a young girl. If you mess her up, she will fight with you in the village square. So I don't take anything from them and I work alone so that somebody don't go behind me to undermine my intentions or even what I'm doing. You need to, when you work with the devil, use a very, very long knife.
Kaki, thank you. You will teach us. We need these teachings and more alliance. Now, there is something I observed today in this place I went. I'm not at University of Lagos. The chancellor of the university, the Sheikh of Borno, and one of the lessons we were discussing with. It appears to me one of his aides, because I purposely went to cycling. Metal address here. That address looked funny to me. It looked like the Shehu does not like a lead. Because we don't need to make such allusion. Also, how are they over 1,500 years in Nigeria? Then we make an allusion that no when the national how the Jareba. But na the monarchy. We have na helu hoya has no how believe in that. If I go with the way he was saying it, the thing struck me that because the Nigerian Academy of Letters gave Abogini this in their honorary fellowship last year. This man choking this year. And then when we have, so I saw one of them who was coming around where I was sitting. Julia Iha. We can say Julia question. We started discussing politics. The guy very hopeful, like he doesn't think that they can trust Onyibo with power. He say, I've gotten what I want to get from this guy. So now say, does it Egoliha and the Colonel Borno Empire were before, or is it possible that we can meet them and start negotiating with them? I mean, after Peter Kamile, because
it's not necessary.
From when the man did,
it's not necessary. Why? You see, the reason why I played up the story about the Arab Confederacy on television was exactly the thing you said. They were saying we had nothing, they just came. It's not true. We had the Arab Confederacy that lasted from 1640 to 1900. That was an oracular, a political and economic union. And it had several people. Everywhere today you see people who do they were under the arrow, like the Galas, like the Domas who are there in Ohimili local government. You don't forget, Onisha was the main place where the Gala, the attack was actually that Agabitu, on the Chidu. That's what it is. So I purposely played up the Arab Confederacy to try to shame them that we were here, we had kingdom before the British and the Portuguese came. So yes, he's not happy because that thing I've said have gone round and he robbed them very badly. When the Fulani came here, there was already Islam here for over 600 years. Islam came to the Yoruba areas through Mali. So the Yorubas had Islam in both Togo, Benin Republic, and then Nigeria proper. And because Kano was a very important trade route, it robbed off from Kano. So the Kanuris have been saying they are fathers of Islam, but of course, that runs against what I tell them. And the Fulani, when they came as slave catchers during the Ottoman period. They didn't bring Islam here because when they first came, the Kanuris rejected them, but then they now went to Futa Toro and Futa Jalon. They were also rejected by the Susu and the Mandinka before they now came back to Gober, where Sarkim Bawa took them in and asked them to teach his son, Yumfa. Of course, Bawa died in 1803, and the Fulani now seized Gober, seized that prince, set up Sokoto, and used that as a staging ground to undermine the House of Bokwe states. That is what happened. By that time, the Arabs were still as strong as they were. So don't listen to what he's saying. I know since I started talking about the Arab Confederacy, because I told people, I say, no matter what it is, nobody runs away from their history. Great people don't run away from their history. Yes, they are also slaves. So what? We embrace the history, clean up the nonsense, and move on. But I needed
Let me help you, Kachi.
Yes, ma'am.
If you read the annals of British history, in the entire British Empire, from Indonesia to Hong Kong, across Africa, the longest conquest and the most deadly for the military of the crown, for the conquest of the Arab Confederacy. It took the British 2 years, and they lost 800 officers, not even men, 800 officers of the crown, and 2 years to conquer the Arab Confederacy. And
No, more than 2 years.
Victoria swore that never again shall the Arab taste power. It is one of the declarations of the crown that they did not actually defeat the Igbo, the Arab. It wasn't actually, it's like saying they defeated Biafra. They could not defeat the mind of the people. And remember that when we say the word Chuku, which is pre-colonial, that the word Chuku among the Igbo exists before the coming of the British.
Exactly.
That the Arab, the long juju is Chuku. Now, the Igbos are a monotheistic people.
Exactly.
And if you go deeper into the writings of Temer, the father of Abraham, if you go beyond the Bible, you will see the dark-skinned people from the East. It's just that nobody has come out to research who we are. And that word, Ndibo, is our
There were a lot
full
of
name.
researchers are here
I
on
was
that.
we were monoteists. Our fathers were monoteists before the British came here.
Yes, and the word
purposely
Chukwu,
playing the Arab game just to do that.
before they came. Ndibo, we are an ancient people, and our origins go beyond the Hana Akweri. That's why we are called Ndibo, and the British want to corrupt who we are, call us Igbo, I before others, and all those nonsense nomenclature. So we gave the British a hard time until today. In the monarchy records, they don't like us. Marakwa, now that gilded fence and the official gate, the official entrance of the Buckingham Palace. No, 2 Oka slaves, blacksmiths, Kavoria, in 17 something, and it has been there since then. If you read the history of the Buckingham Palace, that fine wrought iron or Oka slaves, Kavoria. So the British have a lot to be angry and envious about with us. They know that anytime we rise to nation, we will checkmate them. They know. Anyway, may we...
enwere m ajụjụ o. Ndubuisi na-ekwu. Should I talk?
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, biko no enwere central message ya apụta from to the Igbo populace to prepare their mind ihe a na-atụ n'anya ga-apụta from this conference before ebido the conference.
Question.
Very good.
Okay, good
Offer
question.
for the media.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I will like Professor Bazigwe and Kachi and Tony Wisi to answer that question.
Ndewonu. O nwere ihe unu ga-ama onye ọbụla na-agbalịsi ike ma ugbu a anyị dị ka nwa na-enweghị nne anyị dị ka nwa na-enweghị nne nwere nne. Biko nyefuzina ka anyị na-aga n'ihu. Anyị bụ ọfan maka anyị ejighị ego. Ihe a ga-agwa ndị Igbo erika ma through series of writings, seminars, radio, TV. Anyị emego ka ndị Igbo ihe ndị Igbo megoro eme. Onye metụkwanụ ka a mara ihe o mere. Ndị nọ n'ebe a na ndị ọzọ kwagidere ndị Igbo eji wee mee kansụl officially Monday sit at home. Ndị Igbo even though ọ na-linga somewhere somehow. Ọ nkwasị ike na imekọta ofu ka anyị ji mee succeed. Ewere ọha na eze President General nye ndị Ikwere. Ọ bụ mmekọta ofu na nkwasị ike mere ka ndị Igbo ghara iji ime apology nye ndị Fulani. O nwego ndị Igbo chọrọ ije apologize to the Fulani. Ekwekwala ka isi gbawa mmadụ abụọ. Enwe ndị Igbo chọrọ ịrụ arụrụ ala ahụ. Ọ bụkwa ihe ndị Igbo na-eme mkpagide ma imekọ ofu anyị na-emekọ. Mekwa ndị nọ n'ofesi ji n'onwe ha nwere enyemaka ha na-enye nye ndị nọ n'ụlọ data for unity. So anaghị eme. Ndị Igbo aghọtago mgbe mbụ enwere aghụghọ a na-aghọ ewee na-afọpụta ndị Igbo ha na-propagate six geopolitical zones, ha na-propagate slavery and destruction. Ugbu a o nwere ozi onye Igbo na-abịa akọgherie ụdị ihe ahụ. Ha dị very few ma ọ bụrụ na ọ ka nwere ha aghọtago ga-eme egwuru ebe ahụ. So Igbo na-agbalịkwa ma nke a na-eje dis restructuring ya. Ụmụaka anyị aghọtago ihe bụ restructuring. Anyị egwuego meeting n'Ọkpanam ndị ụmụaka anyị mekọrọ Igbo Unification Movement. Ụmụaka Igbo from 18 years to 40, 50. Ned nwoke jere ebe ahụ anyị niile jere eje. Ọ dị m ka Osuagwu bịakwuru ndị na-asụ Igbo Igbo Unification Movement n'Ọkpanam akwagidogo ụmụaka anyị dịkwa ike. Ụmụaka Ikwere apụtago ma Bọni ma Ọkịrịka ma Agbọ ma ebe niile ma Ịgbanke anyị jicha nọmba ụfọdụ ha ma Benue ma gịnị si n'Igbo bụ ofu. Emego that achievement ma ọgwụbe nke anyị na-eme restructuring. Ha aghọtago ụmụaka anyị aghọtago ihe bụ restructuring. Mana ndị niile na-achị achị ha aghọtakwara ya mana ụjọ ekwere ha kwanye ukwu sọpọtụ ya dịka ndị Afenifere na-asọpọtụ ndị nke ha. Gọvanọ ha na-asọpọtụ ndị nke ha dịka Ijọ na-asọpọtụ ndị nke ha dịka Urobo ma gịnị ma Bini na-asọpọtụ dịka Benue na-asọpọtụkwa ma anyị nwere ụdị sọpọtụ ahụ. O nwego onye a ọnwa n'obi Okonkwo unumaya onye a Okonkwo ọnwa n'obi na Anambra. Ifeanyi Okonkwo Ifeanyi Okonkwo about 7 years ago, 7 to 10 years ago, called me and started a radio program of question and answer about restructuring. Question and answer n'ezisa ụwa niile. ọ na-eru Port Harcourt na-eru Benin na-eru ma TV ma gịnị arịọgo m Ifeanyị Okonkwo si ugbu a na ihe adịgokwa mkpa ka emekwa ya ọzọ. For more than 3 years, we were spreading that message on restructuring based on ethnic nationalities. Igbo aghọtago ya ọfụma kama na o kwesịrị ịkpọtakwa
Prof, we did that program for 10 years before Akwụsịa. You joined us later on, you remember?
Okay, that's true. Nwatakịrị a ị na-enye nsogbu. So anyị were that program na-aga n'iru arịọgokwa m Ifeanyị Okonkwo si ugbu a mgbe kwesịkwa ka anyị bido gharịkwa that program ọzọkwa. Igbo aghọtago ya, ha amatago restructuring, ha amatago na o nwere ihe m gwara nwa isi ha ma nọ na ofesi na-aga n'iru. Igbo amatago na restructuring a ndị Yoruba na-akọgheri na-akọ n'Igbo kwesịrị itinye aka n'ime ya n'ụzọ kwesịrị ekwesị. Anyị mekọ onwe anyị ofu tinye aka n'ime ya n'ụzọ kwesịrị ekwesị, anyị na-elegodi anya ihe ọ ga-abụ anyị mekọ onwe anyị si na ihe anyị chọrọ na ihe bụ Igbo land down to the coast. Ha nwere onwe ha amago ihe ọ pụtara, ma Igbo kwesịrị ịmakwa ihe ọ pụtara, ma sị na ọ bụ within a federation, through federalism, through unitarism, through confederalism, through anything else, ka adịgodi united. That was our first effort, Igbo unity. Ma ha aghọtago their own tactic bụ to prevent Igbo unity and cohesion, particularly contiguity to the coast. That is why ha ji use ndị Ijaw ma kwa onye a na-akpọ Odibia something Ọkachukwu mana ọ dị mma asị na ndị mmadụ nwere efe bịa nụrụ ihe ọhaneze President General Mbaka na-ekwu. Ị ga-alaiki nwoke ahụ, ị gaa ya ntị ị ga-alaiki ya, ị maa na ị ga-erespekt kwa ndị Ikwere na ndị Igbo nọ na Rivers. Ndị ahụ na-azụkwa okwe. Ekwuchago m. Ndewo.
All right.
You did not answer the question. Kachi, did you hear the central message?
That question was answered unless you didn't listen.
I will tell you from my own point. The central message I got Nandi Yoruba Anya Abia, because we're very interested. Anyaga wounded gas Anyaga Abia. But Anya Belano, just Hagi Woka, we're surprised about those. Anya Bella to show you that whenever things about Nigeria was Abia. Because if Anya Abia, do what and the middle better there. Then they got water from the Niger Delta. I would say those who want to antagonize us, Igbos who have agreed to deny their ancestral heritage for them to gain acceptance. It's a work going on. So don't think it will go off. No, it has not been embraced as a national project by the Nigerian state. Our problem is simple. We are the largest single ethnicity in the deltaic tributaries of the Niger River. And that is the place where, during the Williams Commission, the British found out we had the largest hydrocarbon occurrence than anywhere else in Africa that has now catapulted Nigeria to #1 in gas. We overtook Algeria to become the 9th largest gas producing nation on earth. But I believe with proper exploration and quantification, we may even surpass everyone else. So that is the fear that has led to, yes, the British, as you talked about the British British has had 400 years of cantankerous relationship with us. They know it was Igbos that led the riots in Haiti. They know it was Igbos that did the Dunbar landing, the Igbo landing in Virginia. They know it's Igbos like Eduardo Equino that worked with William Wilberforce to achieve the Emancipation Proclamation. So when they came here, we were in trouble to them. And they chose those Borno
Plus the
people.
1929 women's riot.
Exactly. So I'm happy to hear this thing you said. The Shehu of Borno is reacting. I did it on purpose to play up the Arab Confederacy, to tell them we had kingdoms before the British and Portuguese came, and now they're beginning to talk about it. But it's like I told the Hausa man yesterday, you don't claim to be the most populous religious people because you did coup. Now lie. Allow ethnicity and religion to appear on the census sheets, and you will see who is who. So leave them alone. Nigeria till tomorrow remains a Christian majority country, and we Igbos remain the largest single ethnicity in Nigeria. So balkanizing us like they balkanize the Baggy will not work. It's been a war against Christians. We thought it was a war against Igbos. No. Look at us. They attack us, Igbo. They attack the Baggy. They attack the TV. They attack the Bajama. They attack the Biram. These are all Christian ethnicities across Nigeria. That's what's going on. And in this, you have them, the Fulani, a minority Sunni ethnicity, who came here as slave catchers during the Ottoman period, suddenly wanting to now become owners of our country. We won't agree. I'm happy that we're having this talk. We're having this go together. We will simply respect them. Akborayoku, Ayega, Ene, Anyaswa, Akborayoku. I just Poland mad, but Anyama Hosa to come and bring people here to come and argue against the Niger area. But let us attend the meeting, politely watch them, but with what we have now discussed, bear it in our hearts. I thought it came but thank you that Professor Obasi have revealed it to me. I know all these things, but I said, let us follow them gently. That's why when Akin called me, hey, why don't you tell Peter and Usia, why don't you tell Tinubu? Don't be in their power. Don't you talk, say, Igbo man, make sure Tinubu lose. Every Rwanda will come to Nigeria. Why are you not telling me that Peter is the person we need to discuss? Talk to Tinubu first, then they now started this issue. So let's go there, listen to them, and when the team fails, we'll tell everybody we came invited because we thought they were serious. We didn't know they called us for us to now make the same mistake we made in the 60s. Don't forget, the Civil War was a consequence of the mishandling of the consequences of the Western regional crisis, the Wetier. It was the Wetier that snowballed into soldiers being angry, into Awolowo being in prison, into soldiers wanting to get him out, into Faji telling every and later on, Danjuma told us secretly these days that if there's anybody that should have been killed, it should have been Faji. But then that's all left for the future. Let's keep listening to people. With time, people will confess everything that they didn't say before. That's how we no.
Information after Professor Kato no information bụ ndị gara ga-abịa, Middle Belt ga-abịa, ndị ugwu ga-abịa, ndị adịbeshọ bụ Fulani. Ma Fulani will send spies.
Fulani don't need to come. Yes. If the indigenous ethnicities come, we have achieved everything.
Ma ndị niile a ga-abịa except ndị Igbo bụ ha depict agents of the Yoruba. Ha niile ga-abịa, ndị a ga-emecha ha na nso onwe ha ma ha abịaga na ndị a ndị gara, ndị a bụ ndị a Ocheni secretary dị m ka ọ bụ onye Idoma ma ọ bụ Igala.
Ocheni an Idoma name.
So ha ga-abịacha
ma in the local government bụ Igbo n'ebe
ahụ. Ha bụ ha depict
Egala Wundi Igbo. The largest Egala town in Nigeria is still Onitsha. That's why 18% of Onitsha is still getting Egala people. Egala people are there in Abo, people are there in Asaba. It was the Galas that were fishermen in Onisha when the Arabs left
even
in Benin and Ikoba Slope in Benin.
Excuse me, come round up anyway. Igala people are claiming up to Enugu and so on in the map. We should not emphasize that history because it is the Aru that established the Igala monarchy itself.
That's true.
Which means the influence of the Igbo on Igala carry influence of the Igala on Igbo. So the way you present a case will determine how you win and what people, the message you are conveying. We influence Yoruba history more than Yoruba influence our history. All the Igbo soldiers, it was Igbo soldiers led by some people in the name of Benin that opened Lagos in the 15th century or 16th century. Igbo soldiers that opened Lagos, Eko. It was the Igbo that opened the Ife monarchy. So, Anakwane emphasize the perspectives of other people. Yes, sir. Thank you.
The truth, sorry. Oh, my hand can add before we have. The history you are giving, or the history I have been on that perpetuate, or the case you Igala people will live. And they live. Yes, the name of the language is Igala.
These are Igbo who went to that conference area.
Now, exactly. Now, Enwelo, a book I was privileged to have read, written by B.O.N.A. Lowa. Adonidu, the history of Igbo origin. If you read through that book with open mind, you also understand. Because I was sometimes in the past, I would give me 2 volumes of books. Never had the I read it. When I saw him next time, I didn't know what pushed me and see Your Majesty that I've read this your book. But there are 2 things. I know you are an intellectual. There are 2 things you have to interrogate. One, now Divya. Now somebody na is a chima Divya. Owe na amata unelo n'ọbịa. Owe si ụmụaka na akwụkwọ n'ụzọ. Unu dịkwa ebe a mana unu elube kwagbuo ụlọ. Unu ga-agagide n'ụzọ ahụ tụrụ na agafe mmiri na afta iti mana unu elube na bụ ụlọ. Eka o si mmanụ na mmiri ahụ dị ebe ahụ ma ọ bụ ụlọ bụ onye bili. This claim unu na-eklem na bili. So that it is wrong. Ha na-ekwe anya ọfụma. No, she gave back way poor. I don't give him this history of Ovidu Noba. Instead of my grandmom, now that come back Ovidu Noba. Not that all good. Now, Igbo outpost, Luneko, like Prof has said. And that Elo was said that this issue of need of Ife, the corruption of the Ogenife. Who was the representative of the Ezeri? None of that place. That coordinates the Abuku. And of course, somewhere my PhD supervisee. No, not you supervise me or make them na me onye bili. You see, I don't will or try to go give to Luciamba. Now the gift which of Indian book in a one in the Buddha on the Bayash. After 6 months, he called me so that they said they have never been defeated in war, not also only defeated. Before the Ogiso dynasty, they knew all these things. That even themselves, they were established by league. Now, after that discussion, I'm going to the same kind. That this young Nadi Oni Walia, they will an Igbo society. Now, Igbo can I know how one about Troy Chase. Not the same man, actually, not that community. And their settlement and Hakan. And he went there, he showed me their settlement. Now, the Olumo of Ubo, when now Sina, now you have a claimant, the world, not how about the rape people. kpacha ya na-akpọ ha ugbo. But with the analysis he made, it was clear no ihe born in what they now clear that now why the Yoruba people do a lot of placement in honor and respect for Moremi, but because now that's organic. Eji mmọnwụ a na-anọ ọgụ ọmabe mmọnwụ ogologo ọnịcha odo ọ mmọnwụ eji anọ ọgụ ama m ụmụ nwaanyị n'ebe a wego nne mmọnwụ, so we can discuss that. Nọ mmọnwụ eji anọ agha bụ oge ihe ahụ. So those mmụọ eji anọ agha bụ ka ndị ha jekwuru bịa nwaanyị libata ha n'ime ka Delilah na Samson ha naghị ya wee kọwara ha na ọ kwara mmọnwụ a bụ ihe ọ na-aba ime ụlọ ihe anyị na-eme ụlọ na-ama amaghị kọrọ ndị ha ewee mee institute eyo. So ibufe isi eyo ifuru ọmụ ogologo ma ọ bụ ọmaba ma ihe ama ndị na-eti ndị mmọnwụ abụ ife agaba. So and unu this. So the point I'm making, because time I draw, the point I'm making more na ife a niile ine anyị fụ na ibu ndị a ụzọ bịa n'obodo and ha ma mana ihe a na-ekwu bụ in order to discredit us onye a bụ the this one religion ya already connect onye Yoruba. Ihe a na-akpụ ya one of these people. Ọnụ ọkwa nwaanyị nọ n'Ịbàdàn. Ha na-eri anụ, ha na-eri azụ, all those people. Guru Maharaji. He told me na ihe a ndị be ha na-akọ eri nọ Igbo ka bụ ndị izizi bịara n'obodo a. Ihe a ndị be ha na-akọ eri abụrụ eziokwu. Wee sị na ihe a ha na-akọ odu ndụ ụwa ka ha na-akpụ ihe. So not ndị gbara ghọta their position na achọ ka obodo a dị mma. No, ndị gbara ghọta the position na ha ghọta ya, then ịma na obodo a ga-adị mma maka ọha ka Chukwu gọziri iche obodo. So the idea of Igala Bini ancestor of ndị Igbo, the perversion of history and they know it. So we must continue to present our own. Not ka a na-ekwu na anyị nwere history. O nwere ihe ndị Yoruba na-agwa m ya, elu na-enwere history na-aga nta shut up ndị na-enwere history. Na the same way unu ji sikwo na anyị nwere ndị na-achị anyị. Na ka anyị si achị onwe anyị dị iche from unu si achị onwe. And the Muslims tell us that and I is better than you people in all administration. And that ends. So ọ dị mma ị continue this thing. Ọnwa Nnobi ọnwa is angry that na he spent his money to get that thing for those 10 years I made. Mana ndị mmadụ adịghị ya ntị. Ndị mmadụ achọrọ ịma the essence of ihe anyị na-akụzi. Nsị ya kịtara ndị mmadụ amago. Let's start it again. But we have achieved our own, and I think things will continue this way. We will continue to teach our people. So the simple answer for me, I need one to buy. But offer my matter before we get to media. But we are if I deliver what have unification, equal unification. Nine trouble, cross everybody in the hand of night or even the boy hide the show that man. That's all. Thank you.
So historically, we and the Yorubas and the Benin are the same. The expansion was westwardly. Right from Ikom, it was westwardly from Ikom. So we were there. Igbos who now formed. That's why in the bloodline, the DNA test, we and the Yorubas and the Benin share the same, 99% same. I would leave that stories of Oduduwa falling from heaven with 900 spirits or them coming is not true. The expansion in Africa was westwardly. We came through the Congo area up to Ikom, spreading all over. I purposely started raising the Arrow Confederacy for this same reason. I'm happy that the Shehu is now reacting to it. And the rivers, all of them are confused. I didn't do anything. Look at what is in your, when I called you, Professor Bassett, you see that thing you sent me, I already have, and I called those, so most of you, the people who were targeted for slavery were the Banking, the Bakongo, the Igbo, yes, the Yoruba, the Akan, and the Mandinka. Yes. These were the people who live near the coast. So the returning of the Ogoni was after the Emancipation Proclamation and the Royal Navies enforcement of that thing. That's what brought all this crisis, both with the arrow, with them killing Sultan Atahiru in Gombe, and then revenge killing of Captain Moloni in Kefi by Bekaswa. Ndela, it was what the Royal Navy were doing was enforcement of that proclamation. And that was when too many people were gathered in Bonny, the authorities moved the people from Bonny upstairs to where they are, and you call them Ogoni. So the Ogoni are a mixture of mostly Igbo possessed slaves and then those who came from Bakongo.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. If I understand what we're saying, at this stage, get know, and what a communication to the public on Ihana, because my thinking is this. There's a good Professor Bassi said that the public demands is the use malo if able restructuring. Well, from my own side perspective, a lot of people on the street, I got Ihana. And when they can when in America, I shot Biafra, no, I shot Biafra. People are confused. So I can not choke because intellectuals and the well-respected individuals that are able. So I package a central message. I'm gonna communicate like Indigo goes for restructuring along ethnic yes.
Linguistic Congress.
Yes, Barrister Mecca and others, because I'm on the Barrister Mecca writes very well, and other lawyers. All lawyers, I got a case. I call in the message. There's a message here, I call there, because this group will go after. I've got the acronym. I will go message here, I call there, and we're objective, because in the media, social media, and I can say all the objective. People are there now. This is what we are going to Abuja to do. Then this is what we intend to achieve. So that at the end of the day, but if you don't set that momentum, you can wire the public. My own thinking and understanding, overall historical, history.
Sorry to interrupt.
Excuse me, information. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Ndị mmadụ na-abịa na forum na-agụ ihe a na-ede ebe ahụ. Scroll to Igbo position on restructuring. That summarizes everything. That will be elaborated in an advert signed by as many people as will wish to sign. Obego Jan. He go scroll up. If I he will put out the news, or the newsworthy. The Yoruba man here through years of education and propaganda. The smallest, most illiterate Fulani, Mamata go in any Fulani nacho. If you don't know him, I'll connect Kachi, Professor Kachi, with Khartoum, Hajia Khartoum Alumbe Jitamin, the Onyisi Onwai of the Cancer Development Association. The outside what I go there supporting the Igbo. The only non-history sensitive people in Nigeria Bundi Igbo. Down to the brass tacks, smallest person na Alijo Amago Ihanakbo through Ijo National Congress.
Bro, point of information.
You guys sell out, send them out to the public.
They send out to the public. I did go on a platform with the maps. Bidogodi nanka the public Maria.
Prof, let me answer him, Prof. Let me answer him. Here's my job.
Oh, thank you, Wisi.
Yeah. My brother, anyway, a media strategy document on the platform. I posted it to me this afternoon, so please read that. Yesterday, post room, having responsibility for to manage media strategy. So Emre group for media. The link is not there. So please click on that link. I need to talk to you, You join that link, then we'll talk. I have here. So the strategy document, they put Omega approve, chief prof Omega approve, name Omega approve. So it supposed to go on a platform for everybody to see. The rest go for that team to work on it and deliver. But here,
All right,
so,
good.
Ndubisi,
Like Ndubisi and Mbanaso, Mba Mad or something. I forgot. Forgive me. The media guy brought in by Mbana, so he knows himself. Because liars with him. Anna Mayo
handles. Handles. As well.
Yes, Tony Ogochuku Wisi Megulani media handles. We have Instagram, we have WhatsApp, we have Facebook and X and Twitter. Because NBC lies here with Ogochuku. And then
I forgot me here Tony Wisi. But anyway, Abona okay with you. You just official communication. Because as a group, every leaders were coordinators. So I just said officially,
Professor Kolo has given that job.
The communication, the handle. When you're going to improve the communication, the handle, like I said. I mean, man, okay, but no problem.
Yeah, the press releases. Professor Chukwu Kolo was given the job of writing press releases. I to call that time. So I intend to reach out to him also. The idea he will do the write-up. We will publish on our platform, and of course that interviews and broadcasts and all that. Everything will go on our platform. But press releases, official communication, Professor Chukwu Kolo has given. And I'm sure he'll liaise with Ambassador and Professor Basigbe. I hope I'm in order. I think I was here in the meeting.
Yes, I know that, but Jerry has been busy. But Jerry, everybody is busy. You have to get press release before Monday. By tomorrow's meeting, we want to see a one-pager from Jerry Chukwu Kolo, which NWC should look at, and Tony Nisi.
No problem. I'm busy that I can do. I sleep in the night. I'm busy that I can do it. But the only thing we are guiding or guarding, if I tell him, I tell him be fine. I now see. Now if will spread to the world. He had it already now. What we are doing. So that was what I understood. But I'm going to ask if I can I summarize it and send it out.
You will present it at the meeting. Emeka Mekesiri, have you let the letters for the senators? Is it ready? You will present this press release.
You text me the names there. Text me the names now so that immediately we finish this meeting, I'll work on them.
Chinabogo, do we have the names of the senators?
And their WhatsApp numbers.
Why not send the thing to Chinabog? He will send to them after writing, since they are friends.
We have their WhatsApp numbers.
Anyway, for these names. So let's see whether we'll get them by tomorrow's meeting. With this,
Question. Are you in charge of security delegates while in Abuja?
Oh no, the people in Yerani Hotel with that because all an Abuja based assignment. So
I know the point man. I know the point man.
You ask question on my department. You ask question on my department. Can I answer? Chinaboro.
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead, my brother.
Right here, we have security for every one of them. But security is not going to be discussed on the public. Please. The normal rules. Don't let them know you are coming. The defeat of a government is a surprise attack. These are the laws that guide security, which have been inside for a long, long time. All will be well. Chinaborog knows what I'm saying.
So what?
Dalo. Okay. Everybody go to Dennis Hotel. We'll meet at Dennis Hotel 7 p.m. on Sunday. But we are going to have another meeting tomorrow. If we don't get the name, we don't do any letter. A letter to Wike. Wike's letter has been delivered. It's on the platform. Hopefully by tomorrow, Amechi's letter will also be delivered. Ifeanyi Ararume is angry that we didn't tell him because he is the one that knows Amechi's office. I think Amechi is working with him somehow. When he was asked to give us Amechi's contact, he became angry that he was not told. I
don't mean to be rude. Leave it for me. Oh no, jungle. Most of this from them.
No, we will still respect him. We still respect him. He's a senator. We respect him and say we are sorry. You know,
sorry. We just write him a letter informing him what we are doing. We are not sorry.
I will suggest that all senators from Igbo descent be given these letters. So that nobody will get and others will not. Everybody will get the letters. All our senators plus Suned Nwoko and Andodo. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to meet my boss at Baribe. Baribe taught me in school. He taught me at Federal Government College in Enugu. And since then, we've become very close. Tomorrow,
we have to respect every person.
Yes, but we are not going to be saying we are sorry. What did we do? We will say Iloma.
When you wrote apology letter to the Ndina,
okay,
we did not inform you.
Coin a generic letter, and then we put names to it.
Exactly. All senators of Igbo descent should be respectfully
okay. I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
All right. Distribution will start tomorrow. When you're on a signature Muna or Basigwe and Kachi. See, distribution will start tomorrow. Everybody's WhatsApp. Forum for Igbo position on restructuring. With this assignment, Chukwokolo on the press release, Emeka Siri on the letters. I want to thank everybody that has come here, and assure also Kaisen also and Kenneth Okugo, yes, they will get their tickets tonight or by tomorrow morning. Thank you very much, everybody. I love you guys.
Thank you,
I move
for adjournment. I second the movement for adjournment.
Okay, good night.
Good morning, all.
Good morning. All night.
Let me now start my day officially.
Okay. Ndị Amerịka ndewonu, ndị South Africa niile ndewonu, ndị Naịjirịa, ndị ala Igbo niile, ebe Igbo niile sọtụrụ n'ụwa ndewonu.
Ndewo.